There we go. Hello, everybody. Hello, happy Easter. How is everybody out there? This is great. Here for the Sunday Live. I'm actually going to tweet it out right now, so give me a second. I should have did it already, but it's me. It's me. It's me. Wrong character, but still. Still. Let's see. Profile. And then quote tweet now live. How's everybody out there? I decided to do both Chief Brody rules and I Want My TV Now today. And it looks like there's an issue with the Facebook Live, which is a bummer. I think it's because the copyright thing that they're trying to get me with is because I accidentally showed that clip from that movie In the Line of Fire or In the Line of Duty 4. And I was like, oh, shucks, they got me. They got me. So I might not be able to go live on my Facebook for at least this week. Next week, I should be able to. Next week's episode is actually going to be an episode of Pilot. I got to edit it this week. Hopefully, I can get a draft out to Stuart before I schedule it. But so next week I'll be off, and it'll be a pre-scheduled video, so it'll just go live, and it'll seem like a regular show during the regular show time at 6 p.m. But it'll be pre-recorded, just to edit it down because I think we recorded like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I want to whittle it down to at least 140. I think that would be good. That would be good. We have Shane Ford here. Shane, the final 30. Filler Vision, happy Easter, everybody. Hope everyone's having a happy Easter. That's great. And we have happy Luigi Easter. Yes. How's everybody out there? Guys, you see the oh my gosh. We have Luke Deckard. Author, writer, best friend, future father, Luke Deckard. Hello, Luke. So I guess we'll get right into it. Super Mario Brothers, the movie. As you can see, I'm all decked out for it. So let me tell the history of it. So when they first showed the trailer, I was like, whatever. And then something like grabbed me about it. Like, I don't know what happened. I was like, I saw the bright colors in like one of the posters or one of the teasers after the first original teaser. And I was like, I want to see that movie. Because I wasn't that excited about it, but something grabbed on me. I'm like, I got to see this movie. I got to see the Mario Brothers movie. And I was so excited. Hang on, we got a new comment from Luke. Luke in the house. Yes, Luke in the house. But yeah, I finally got excited to see the Mario Brothers movie. And I was like, ooh, I got to see this. And as the weeks are coming up, I'm going to bring up Luke. Luke, I'm going to bring you up. Luke. So I actually got Luke excited, if I recall correctly. I got Luke excited about the Mario Brothers movie, and I was like, "Yes, we got to go see it. We got to go see it." And then, like, there was a trailer that popped up like maybe a month ago. It was like the final trailer, and it was like the Mario Kart sequence where Mario is like floating in space and then lands on the bike, and then he grabs the thing and he throws the turtle thing. That was the coolest thing ever, and I was like, I need to see this damn movie. So for like the last month, I've been trying to get Luke convinced to see this movie. And right before the movie came out, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday, the Rotten Tomato score came out and it was like 48%. And I was like, oh, geez, what happened? What the fuck happened? Because like all the previous weeks, like we had John Wick. Everyone loved John Wick 4. And then it was Dungeons and Dragons. Everybody loved Dungeons and Dragons, critics, audience, everyone loved the Dungeons and Dragons movie. And then the Mario Rotten Tomato score came out, was like 48%. Like, what the hell happened there? So Luke's like, I don't know, I'm getting cold feet now. I'm getting cold feet. And meanwhile, I feel like Bruce Willis in the movie Hostage, where I'm like, relax, we're gonna get through this. Don't worry. Put the gun down, we're gonna be fine. And then like Luke is like, nope, cancel the tickets, I'm not going. And I was like, come on, pray with me, Luke, pray with me, I know this prayer. But Luke canceled the tickets, and I was like, oh damn. So finally go see the Mario Brothers movie, and it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Went beyond my expectations. because like I didn't even know what to expect. But after seeing the movie, it was just so good. It opens up with the introduction of Bowser, with that clip we've all seen, with like the little cute penguins are like, "Do you yield?" And then Bowser's like, "No one can stop me." And then it cuts to the great, the great TV spot from the Super Bowl, and then introduces the world, the father, the brother, and it shows how sweet the relationship between them are. Where like Luigi is like the sweet, slowish type little brother, and Mario is like, "I'm Mario. I want to do this. I want to get out on my own. I'm gonna do like," and everyone's just like shitting on both of them for like no reason. I guess there's a reason. I guess they must have like history of messing things up, because that kind of happens with their first job. Oh yeah, spoilers. I'm going to go into some spoilers here, but it's a Mario Brother movie. How many spoilers can you get into this movie? But I love the introduction of Mario and Luigi. That is so good. It's so fun. I love that world they're in, and how their bond, and how they're very protective of each other. Even when they get back home and like everyone like just craps on them, like, "You're wearing white gloves and you plumbers. What are you guys doing?" And it's so funny. And then little Mario goes in his room, and then little Luigi brings him dinner, because Mario didn't even eat his dinner because he got so upset by his family like crapping on him. So they go sit down, and it's just like the sweetest thing. Like Luigi's looking out for his older brother. Mario's looking out for Luigi. It's fantastic, and I don't know. It's a fun time. From there on, then I probably won't give too much spoilers, because I don't think Luke's seen it yet. Um, I don't want to go into too much to it. But after the movie was over, I can only compare this to that movie Avatar, because I remember Avatar came out, and there was all these reports where people wanted to be like Na'vis, and they wanted to live on whatever their planet is. I don't even know what the hell it's called. Pandora. They all wanted to live on Pandora. They wanted to live there and experience that. And I think that's what I felt after the Mario Brother movie. It's like, I want to live in that Brooklyn. I want to live in that Mushroom Kingdom. I want to experience that the Kong village, the jungle, whatever the hell it's called. I want to live there. Everything's so bright and colorful there, and everyone's so friendly, and just how everything's like, you got to bounce through here, you got to go through the tubes. It was just so fun. And after the movie, it's like, I want to watch the movie again. I want to live there. And for once, for the first time in like 20 years, I think I actually want to go to Universal Studios now, because if I recall correctly, they do have a Mario Land, and I would love to go to the Mario Land after this movie. If anything, this movie is advertised that 100%. I wish I could see this movie again. I know I probably won't. I won't be able to see it until it's on home video. But like when it's on home video, I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave it on the player for like a whole weekend and just put it on loop and just constantly watch it. And I'm a person who's not a video game. I'm not a video gamer. I don't play video games. So like some references go like right over my head. And there's some things where I'm like, oh, that's got to be a reference. And I'm sure that's a reference to something, but it's like, it didn't take me out of it. So like as a average Joe, I am Rich Evans. I was into the movie. I have no nostalgia for Mario Brothers, no connection. So I'm a total outsider. All I know are the Happy Meal toys that they do once a year at McDonald's. I know some of the advertising. I know of course, people who are watching at Chief Brody Rules probably, everyone knows that Mama Luigi, or it's a football, I chiseled it, or no, they didn't do no. I was so shocked. I thought they were going to do that. I thought at some point in the movie, Chris Pratt would go, no, but that did not happen. But it was so good. I love the Mario Brothers movie. It was fantastic. Highly recommend it. Luke, I know you changed your mind. You're going to go see it finally, because it was like the hostage. Seriously, guys, I was like a hostage negotiator. I was like, come on, Luke. We've been through this before. It's the critics. And Luke was like, nope. He threw the phone out the window, and I was like, no, shoot me. I'm here. I know this prayer. It's Mama Luigi to you. But now Luke is going to see it. It's just great. Fantastic. I think he'll like it. I honestly don't get the 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, I don't get it. I think it's critics who assume it's going to be a universe, which I didn't even think of. Because this is how much I like the Mario Brothers movie. I started watching all the interviews with Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Anya Taylor-Joy, Jack Black, Keegan Michael Peele, or whatever his name. I want to say? I want to be respectful to this man. This guy is hilarious. Keegan Michael Key, yes, he was. I started watching all their interviews, and I guess the interviews start saying like, "Oh, is this going to be like the beginning of the universe?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess so." I kind of just saw it as like a one-off movie. Like, sure, there's probably going to be a sequel. I wish there's going to be a sequel. They kind of set that up at the end credits. Luke, stay after the credits. There's like 2 good bits. There's like a mid-credit scene and an after-credit scene, and I do believe it's worth it staying for that. It's only 90 minutes. This is great. Any movie that's 90 minutes, I'm a fan of. Candyman. I remember Candyman, like when they announced like 90 minutes, I was like, oh my God. Because I just feel like everything is long. Like I enjoy John Wick. Granted, I enjoyed the latest John Wick, but I had no idea that it was 3 hours, basically. I had no idea. But it's nice that there's a movie out there that's 90 minutes, and I can totally understand why it's making bank. It came out on Wednesday. It's 90 minutes, so they're getting those families in there. I knew it was huge. Granted, spring break, kids are off of school, but I went to see the first showing on Friday, which is basically 11:30, aka 12 o'clock. That theater was packed at 12 o'clock in the morning, full of popcorn. All the kids were chill. It was cute because in the audience, every once in a while, you'd hear like a little kid going like, "Oh," and they would quote like whatever Toad just said or whatever Mario just said, or like if Luigi like did something, you'd hear a kid like quote Luigi, and it was sweet. I do have some criticisms of it. I do, very minor, very, very minor. As much as I died laughing at Seth Rogen's laugh at the mini Mario, I felt like they could have got somebody else to do Donkey Kong. I don't know if that's going to work for a whole spin-off movie with Seth Rogen. And I get it. I get why they get these big names. They need these actors to do interviews. They need them to promote the movie. To me, like Jack Black is almost like a hand grenade for like great interview segments. So I get it. Like you put Jack Black in a movie and you have great, press. That whole Kelly Clarkson interview thing where he's dressed as Bowser, that's fantastic. Chris Pratt, honestly, I usually don't watch many interviews of movies. But like Chris Pratt is like great at interviews. I don't know if someone trains them at Marvel or whatever, but like Chris Pratt is great at interviews. It's ridiculous because like it's almost like he has like a whole list, or maybe he has an assistant who's like, here's the basic, rules, the basic history of Mario. Here's some ideas, and just like memorize them. Because when he gets in the hot seat and like it's some person who's like, hey, what's your favorite Mario 3D version? Or what's your favorite, when 1984, when they created the video game, what is your opinion on it? Charlie Day's like, I don't know. And then like Chris Pratt's like, when that guy created it, blah, blah, blah. Like he'll go right into it. So I almost wonder if like an assistant is helping him, or he's just had great training over at Marvel for these interviews, because he's fantastic as an interview. That's a damn skill. Because there's sometimes like after watching all of them, what's the name? Keegan Michael. I want to give him respect. Keegan Michael Key, like he had like one story and he kept repeating it in like every interview. But it was great though, because the thing that saved him is that he was never by himself. He's usually with Jack Black, Charlie Day, and Chris Pratt, so they all can bounce off each other. So that's great. But yeah, I loved this movie so much that it got me into watching these interviews. And it's so funny too, because when they do have Seth Rogen, it seems so like all these guys are like, they have like a repertoire, and then there's just like Seth Rogen just like like he's an old man now. It's kind of sad, but he's just like sitting there and he's like, yeah, I guess I'm Donkey Kong. And it's fun to hear that Charlie Day, like he didn't put any thought into it. Like he thought, yeah, I'm going to do a voice in this animated movie. He didn't really click like, oh, geez, I'm basically voicing one of the most iconic characters of all time. on the big screen and that the fan base is huge. Like, I wouldn't be surprised because I keep joking about it. Like, the next Maverick, I feel like this is going to be like the Maverick Top Gun for like children's films this year, where it's going to be like $1 billion because there's going to be repeat viewings and it's only 90 minutes. And I think this is going to have like long lasting power because it's just a fun movie, a real fun movie. All right, let's get to the questions or whatever. I've been seeing all these comments pop up. We have Shane Ford saying, I'm nostalgic for the days of old school YouTube when you could watch a full movie in 10-minute chunks. Oh my God. I remember those days. Oh man, hang on. Let me move the camera, I guess down, correct, right? Or is it up? It's probably up. Nope. It's down. Okay. So yeah, that's much better. Yeah, sorry, podcast had to move you. Okay, that's a Mama Luigi to you. Oh yeah, that big giant or whatever that squeak. Yes, Luke, it's true. I had to negotiate with Luke to go see the Mario Brother movie. Let me try with you. All righty. Those are always fun times. That's how I watched the first Nightmare on Elm Street films. I've been wanting to watch the Nightmare on Elm Street films like the last month because I've been watching those Red Letter Media reviews and the trivia game where it's just like, oh man, that's so fun. I got to watch those movies. I think I've only seen Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Let's see what else we got here. That's wonderful. Happy to hear it was really good. I was hesitant, just didn't get the time to see it this week, and we'll definitely catch it when you can. Yes, go see the Mario Brothers movie. Like, I had no connection to the game or the characters. The only thing I knew about was the Happy Meal toys, and I enjoyed it. And look, I specifically bought this blue. Hang on, let me get this. I specifically bought this green shirt for this video today because I bought this hat right before we went to see the movie at Party City. Because we're like, yeah, let's go pick up our hat. Like, let's go to Party City and see if they have any Mario Luigi hats. And they did. So I went to see the movie with just the hat and the mustache. But after the movie was over, I raced out and I found one at Savers. There was a green sweater. So I wore that everywhere for the rest of the day. But for this video, I was like, I need to find a green shirt because I don't know if I was going to handle it in here with a sweater. So this is great, though. This matches the hat perfectly. If anything, I have a great quick cosplay for like a dress down day at work or something. I don't know. Let's see what else we got here. Shane Ford, the Mario movie taking racism against Italians head on. Honestly, I didn't mind Chris Pratt as Mario. That was seriously the relationship between Mario and Luigi is like the sweetest thing. Because like you could tell that Mario is so protective of the Luigi. Like I don't know if there's like some even more like backstory where like because they kind of hint at it where like Luigi was teased and picked on and like Mario stands up for him, but it's just that dynamic between the characters is so well done. My God, because like you could tell like Mario is like really looking out for him, and even though like Mario like does stuff, you could tell Luigi's like going to support his brother 100%. It's just the sweetest thing because like the part when they're going through Brooklyn and they're jumping up there and Mario is like pushing down the board and he's like helping Luigi out. I could watch that all day. That was fun. I'm trying to think of the other fun moment between the brothers that I really liked. I do like little spoiler alert. I do enjoy that in the Mario Brothers movie, there was a moment where when they get in spoilers if you don't want to hear their spoilers, but the last 5 minutes when they go into the real world, back into the real world, they have last action hero logic where like when Mario gets punched, his arm is like dislocated. He's got like a bruise on his face and a bruise like here. And I'm like, oh geez, this is like, he's going to die. Like this is like Last Action Hero when Arnold Schwarzenegger gets shot and he's like bleeding out and like he's in the ambulance. Like that is awesome. I love that part. That was like a little detail I did enjoy because the whole time, in the Kong world, he's getting slapped by Donkey Kong. He's getting thrown, he's getting flicked. Mario is okay, but like when they get in the real world, he got punched by Bowser. Holy crap! Like he rolls and like he's got like his face is all beat up. I think it's like the worst they could do for a kid's film without going into like a PG-13. But he's like all bruised and like the way he's moving his arm, you could just tell like, Mario's arm has been like dislocated. Oh my God! But that's such a great thing too. It's I like that character thing where Mario never gives up. There's like a lot of moments in the movie where Mario could totally give up, and he doesn't. Ah, it's so good. I really love this movie. I I don't get the criticism. I guess I do get criticism because there's some things in there that's kind of like you, because they do play 80s music, but like I kind of give that leeway because this is an Illumination film. Illumination, Illumination. They did the Sing movies. Um, I effing love Sing 2. Sing 2 is so good. I love Sing. Sing 1's okay because it has like one of my favorite moments in Sing 1 is like the little mouse going like, regrets I had a few, I did it my way, and it's so great. But like Sing 2 is like the greatest. Stand back, you nasty alien monster. Love it. But like I'm getting back on track. The criticism for this movie is that they play some like 80s hits that are kind of out of place. But it kind of works because this is like a product of the 80s. Mario is a product of the 80s, so it's okay. But like there's no reason for it to play Take On Me. And I Need a Hero is so like I feel like whenever I hear I Need a Hero, I think of Shrek 2. And that kind of takes me out of it. So whenever a movie says I Need a Hero, it takes me out of it. But getting back to the comments, because this is definitely an Ask Me Anything here. And I guess I just lost 20 viewers. It must be the Chief Brody Rules crowd coming in and bouncing out immediately. And then again, I am giving out spoilers, so that could be it as well. Mario movie taking recent. Okay, ready? Read that comment. Let's see. I remember that period. Everyone loved Avatar. I wanted to visit Pandora so bad. Yeah, I want to visit the Mushroom Kingdom. I want to see all the toads. Where does it rate on the Anya Taylor-Joy scale? I thought she did a great job doing her voice acting. I don't think it's her first one. I think she was in the Playmobil movie. But she did a great job voice acting. Where it was a point where I was like, damn, she's good. I remember watching the movie like, damn, she's good. So on a rate of Anya Taylor-Joy, Anya Taylor-Joy, Anya Taylor-Joy, I give it a 10. I give it a 10 on the Anya Taylor-Joy scale just because it was damn good voice acting, and it didn't feel like an actor doing it. Because there's actors out there who could do like real bad voice acting. I know everyone keeps saying, "Oh, Danny DeVito should do a voice," but like, did you guys see the Lorax? Like, honestly, did you see the Lorax? Ugh. That movie, The Lorax, has some of the worst like character, or like I should say, actor doing voiceover stuff. Because it almost looks like a bad dub. It almost looks like the lips don't match the voice in that Lorax movie, and no good, no good. Do you enjoy the '93 film? I don't think I've actually watched it, even though I do have the toys. Hold on, podcast. The first one I found when I was at a flea market was King Koopa himself, Dennis Hopper. My money, Pepsi Blue Ribbon. And then we have John Leguizamo, star of John Wick 2, The Menu, The Pest, Die Hard 2, and what was the other one he was in? Not what was the other recent movie? Hang on, hang on. There we go. Brighten me up again. Sorry, that's auto focus because I had the thing here. What was the other John Leguizamo movie? Damn, it was like recent. It was recent. I forgot. I'm moving on, and I also have Bob Hoskins Mario. Yes, that is cool. Actually, I have two of these. This one is the more beat up version. I have to find the clean one. I think he's in my other toy bin. Hang on, let me get some more light on the subject. There we go. But yeah, I never watched the original one. I think I've seen clips, and I did put it on the TV, but I never actually watched it. It was mostly background noise. And now we're back down to 8 viewers. So now we're back down to the I want my TV now viewers. Do you know the movie's good when you watch the press junket after? Yes. You know a movie's good when you start watching the press junket afterwards. Because I watched the John Wick press junket afterwards. Because I wanted to get some more information from like Chad and Keanu. But it's like few and far between because I feel like every interviewer for John Wick like fanboys out. They gush over Chad and Keanu, and they don't really get any information out of them. Like I listened to the Smart List podcast with Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes. All they did was gush and fanboy over Keanu Reeves. I'm like, you have Keanu Reeves for 45 minutes and you got nothing out of him. Oh my god, it just cracked me up. Holy smokes. But yes, a movie's good when that happens. It looked like a fun, simple movie. It's nice now that they're not setting up Smash Brothers. I didn't feel like they were setting up too much. Other than the after credit scene, it just felt like a one-off movie, and it was great. I love this movie. Loved it. Let's see. We have Shane Ford saying Candyman more like Candy Bland. Really, you didn't like the remake? I thought it was fine. I called it though. I remember seeing the previews and I was like, oh damn, the guy in the movie is the little baby from the first one for sure. Because they had the girl like, you don't say his name. And I was like, yep, that's the mom from the first movie. And she raised. Oh, I do like the remake of the Candyman just because of that. It's all about like different generations of that story being told. And he was the next interpretation of that story because he survived the Candyman attack and then he became the new Candyman. It was almost like destiny. Like he was destined to be the next Candyman. Maybe that's reading too much into that remake, the remake of Candyman, but like I really enjoyed that movie so much. And just at the end for that simple Tony Todd cameo is like, tell everyone about me. It's like, this is so good. I love Candyman. I love the Candyman story. I love the world. I love the premise. I've only seen one of the sequels. It was Day of the Dead. It was by Vestrum Blu-ray, so that's how I saw it. It was at Walmart. But the one I did see was the original movie, which is so great. It's like the modern Beauty and the Beast. And I love that you don't see Candyman until like an hour into the movie, maybe 40 minutes, when he's standing in that the freaking parking garage. It's so good. And that booming voice of Tony Todd. I love it. I love it. Let's see. I definitely agree about Seth Rogen fell off about Donkey Kong. Yeah, that felt like a safe choice just to advertise the movie because I understand why they get those big name actors. It's just to advertise the movie. It's to have them on Kelly Clarkson. Like, do you really like being Bowser and playing all those games? Like, yeah, I get it. But like, man, Seth Rogen fell off. I did like the movie, but like, I think that's like one of the criticisms. Like, Seth Rogen didn't quite fit. Although I died laughing. I was the only one in the theater dying laughing when he was like, laughing at the little Mario. Died laughing. Pratt is wearing an earpiece and some guy's feeding him answers. I wish, like, because he's actually stumbling over his answer, so he's like really trying to recall what he read on that sheet of paper earlier that morning. And I felt so bad. There was like an interview with Anya Taylor-Joy where someone's like, we're going to test your knowledge on the history of Mario or whatever the clues are in the movie. And Anya is like, she's like, don't do this to me. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. Don't do this. And you could tell it was probably like her second interview and they left that part in, but she was like, don't do this to me. I just woke up and I only been on 2 hours of sleep. I'm filming a new movie. Mario has left my head. Don't do this. And the guy's like, I'm going to read some questions. And it was just so like, oh God, I feel sorry for some of these press people when they have to advertise the movie because it's like they recorded the movie like a year or 2 years ago and they're sitting here asking questions over and over again, the same ones. And it's just like, oh, poor Anya Taylor-Joy. It sounds like it's doing great so far with the box office. Dude, it's going to be the Maverick. It's going to be the Maverick. Elmer Street 2 is the best one. There's someone trying to get inside me. I really need to watch all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. I have the box set I got at Walmart a few years ago. One of these weekends, I'm just going to go, bah, bah, bah. I'll probably do it later this week, honestly. I'll probably just like put them in after work and watch 2 or 3 a night. Knock them out. OG Elm Street has some great scenes, but it's kind of overrated. Yeah, you can feel the budget. Like the idea and concept and the performance of Freddy Krueger is what really makes the original Nightmare on Elm Street really stand out. But like that movie, like the memory, like that's what it is. Like the concept, the performance, and some of the iconic scenes are really great. But some of the stuff in that original movie is just held back by the budget. And some of like the illogical things, like the guy getting like hanged, right? Hanged in the prison. And I don't want to be. If you guys watch Red Letter Media, they do a joke about hung and hanged. So when the character was hanged in prison, you could tell that was like a lame idea / excuse for that Nightmare on Elm Street movie. But like the Tina death scene, and then like the school nightmare when like you see the body bag being dragged in the hallway and like, where's your hall pass? Screw your pass. Like that's some good shit. The mom of Nancy is terrible. She is awful in that movie. It's like one of the worst performances. But there's some great things in that original Nightmare on Elm Street, and that's what makes it last longer. And I feel like they learned that. So, and I haven't seen them, but from what I've seen of the sequels to Nightmare on Elm Street, hang on, let me brighten the screen up. There we go. But from what I've seen of Nightmare on Elm Street sequels, they definitely took what worked from the first movie and enhanced it to make it better. So I do appreciate that. I really do. The RLM videos have been fun to watch. Glad Jay's able to go toe to toe with Mike at trivia and not get schooled over Star Trek trivia. Oh, I don't know if you know this, Filler Vision. There's two things. First thing, there's a very sweet scene during the trivia where Mike got a question right and he's dancing like ooh ooh ooh. And if you look at Jay as Mike's dancing that he got a point, Jay rolls the dice. He clearly got a 1. He looked, he's like, oh shit, quickly picks up the dice and rolls again. And then Mike looks at him. He did that for Mike. He made sure Mike didn't feel bad. And I thought that's one of the great, that's what makes Red Letter Media so great, because they're best friends. So that's the first moment where it's like, oh, they really want to make sure Mike has a fair chance because Jay rolled a 1. When the scene, like Mike's going, I got a point, you could tell Jay felt so guilty rolling another 1, so he had to roll again. I think he got like a 4 when he rolled. And the other thing is when Mike has his like false memory of like the lightning bolt, and Rich is like, you sure you don't want to go with that? You want to go with that? And it's like, yeah, I want to go with that. That's both Jay and Rich being very good friends to Mike. And that's one of the reasons why I love watching Red Letter Media, is that you could tell these guys are friends and they don't want to make each other look bad. And like, I think Mike sort of has a history of losing the game. Like he lost the first Junka and he did lose that other trivia game. I think, I forget which one, but he has a kind of a history of like losing games. So it was sweet that he won the Nightmare on Elm Street trivia of that video. It was fantastic. Okay. Let's see. I like Elm Street, true, but Kruger's pretty menacing in that one. Yes, I do recall that. I actually think the first Nightmare on Elm Street I ever did watch or catch on TV was Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and it was like the scene when he's at the party and he's like, "You're all my children now," and I thought that was the scariest shit. Let's see. Dolores Mongrel makes a funny squeak at, Dolores. Oh, okay. Oh, Enchanto. I've never seen Enchanto. I don't know. It kind of irked me, the premise. I don't like the premise of a whole family having powers and then making fun of the person who doesn't have powers and then kind of making them feel worthless. That was from the trailer. Granted, I have not seen the movie, but seeing that in the trailer, I'm like, oof, no, I don't like that premise. I don't like it. Filler Vision, you got the body. I got the brains. It's legit terrifying. Exactly. I don't mind the needle drops if they use the song well. Yeah, that's the thing. It's passable for me in the new Mario Brothers movie when they play Take on Me, Take on Me. Oh God, speaking of another little minor criticism for the Mario movie, there's a scene, like they do it multiple times. It was cute the first time, but after the 5th time they did it, I was like, yeah. But like there were several times where they were like, no. They did that like 5 times in the movie. Maybe 4. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but it was definitely more than 3. Because 3 you'd cut it off, but there was definitely like, no. They did that so many times, and I was like, I feel like they did that like once in every sequence, and I felt like it was like an easy laugh. Like they did a test audience, and the audience was like, I like that part, and then they're like, okay, let's add 5 more. And then like they probably did like another test and like the audience loves that slow-mo part. No, but they did that too many times. That's my only other negative, but I love that movie. Ooh, you saw Air from Ben Affleck, and man, that was, as much as I'm burnt out by the 80s nostalgia, this film sort of went too far with 80s nods. Solid films, but the nostalgia is a bit much. I'm excited about Air because I see it as like a prequel to Space Jam. Because I just find it so funny because in the trailer they show like the parents of Michael Jordan, and I'm like, oh, just like the opening scene of Space Jam. I can't wait. Like it's gonna lead right to Space Jam. But I haven't seen Air yet. But I'm a huge fan of Ben Affleck. I love Matt Damon, and when they're together, it's like I gotta support them. I gotta support my guys. Matt and Ben are the best. And you know what I found out from a previous interview this week? Because they started doing ads for Air. You know, like the junkets, the press junkets. They did like an interview together. I had no idea that they were friends since childhood. They knew each other since they were like 5 or even like 6 or 7. Like they knew single digits, Matt and Ben, because I thought they met each other like in teens or when they're in their 20s. I had no idea they were friends from like way when they were 5. I was like, holy smokes. And they're both now like iconic actors, you know, from the 90s at like 55 years old or whatever old their age is. And it's just, wow, they've been friends that long. It's it's the Mike and Jay of Hollywood. Okay, let's see. I get it. It's set in 1984, but it could have toned it down a bit. No. Danny DeVito might be the most out of touch I feel with most people. I like him as an actor director, but don't really get why he's a meme. I don't get it either. If you really paid attention to like his voice acting in movies or in acting in general, it's like you have to get him in something he really likes, or if he doesn't like the project, he will phone it in, no doubt. Goomba, where is my pizza? Let's see. Oh, you guys must be doing Violent Night. That was the one I forgot. You got it. John Leguizamo's Violent Night. I was trying to remember that one. You got it. The real ones I'm watching on my TV now. Exactly. Let's see. I really like the new Candyman. Thought it was a solid film. I hate that so much. I didn't mind the interviews, fan out, shorter interview. You can still be cringe, but if they spend a long interview just brown nosing, it's the worst. Yes. I feel like Smartless sort of is guilty of that. I'm noticing that now because I just listened to a Spielberg interview with them. I can't believe they got Spielberg. Nobody gets Spielberg but stupid Sean Hayes, Will Arnett. Fucking Jason Bateman got Spielberg and they pissed it away. Oh man, I'm like halfway through listening to it. I was like, God damn it, they get big names and they're just pissing it away. Tony Todd is great in Night of the Living Dead remake. Dude, what I like about the Night of the Living Dead remake is that every decision he makes is wrong. I love that. That was like a nice twist on the original movie. Because in the original movie, if everyone listened to that dude, they'd be alive. But now they spun it in the remake of Night of the Living Dead, where everything Tony Todd suggests is bad. And I do love that the girl, the Barbara character, becomes the stronger one. And at the end, it's so sad. Spoilers to anybody who's never seen Night of the Living Dead, but it's even sadder in the remake because it's up to Barbara to kill this character. I forgot his character's name. But yeah, it's sad. Because she really liked him. She believed in him, even though a lot of the decisions he decided to do were wrong. But it's so sad because she has to kill him, and she kills him in the most respectful way because the hillbilly guys would probably kill him in the disrespectful way. Fallon has ruined interviews I don't watch Tonight shows. I strictly stick to the panels, the press junkets. I like the press junkets. I do not like the Tonight. I don't like Stephen Colbert. I don't like Seth. What's his name? What's it? Is it Seth? No, it's not Seth Green. I don't even know his name. I don't like Seth. Seth Meyers. That's his name. I don't like Seth Meyers. I don't like Fallon. I don't like Kimmel. And I'll explain. I should give reasons because I'm here for doing a live stream. Fallon, he's too fanboy. People might think he's fake. I think he's real, but he's just loving every minute of it. Too much, where he doesn't tone it back. It's almost like he has to, like, I don't know if someone's telling him to go on 110%, Like he needs to be like an 85. But like every interview he does, he's pushing like 110% of being a fan of whoever's on panel. And I don't like that. I don't like Stephen Colbert. He can be like backdoor, like prick. I don't like that. He really can be backdoor prick with his guests. I don't like that at all. I also find him fake. I don't like the sarcasm and snarkiness of Kimmel. Don't like that at all. But I don't watch their interviews. I don't. It's just TV panels are like a thing of the past, and I can't get into that anymore. And I don't find the games that they do fun. I like hearing. That's so weird. Okay, so I like some games and I don't like games. So I don't like the stupid pie getting thrown in your face or them getting tons of puppies on their lap. I don't like that stuff. What I like is the autocomplete interview where they have to rip a little sheet off and you learn about the actor. I like those games. I like how they have to move the cup on the table, agree, disagree. I love the dad joke one where they say like schoolyard insults to each other. I like that stuff because it's the actors having fun without answering the same questions over and over again. Because I really love those autocomplete interviews because you could tell who's fun and who's not fun when they answer those. And I like the hot wings one because it's funny. They're thrown into a situation that like the guy who's interviewing you genuinely cares and gives a shit about you, but it's funny because you're eating chicken wings that have hot sauce on it. That's good stuff. But I don't like the pie getting thrown in the face. I don't like them trying to come up with games on Jimmy Kimmel where they have to, or Jimmy Fallon more specifically, where they have to match songs up. Because clearly you know that it's not a real spinning thing. They worked it out backstage and it looks randomized, but it's not. I don't like that stuff. I don't like it. But I like the press junkets because that's a lot of fun. Because sometimes there's just like fierce cringe. There's fierce. Like you could tell the actors have asked the same question over and over again, and they're trying to have fun with it. Like poor Charlie Day and Keegan Michael Key. Oh man, they're so great. But luckily Chris Pratt's there and Jack Black. Oh my god, both Jack Black and it's like opposite ends. Like Jack Black is the king of saying something goofy or going on a riff that goes like rip it do do rip it do do, and he like does a little dance. And then Chris Pratt on the other end of the spectrum is like somebody helped him prep for questions and he answers efficiently and he has like an answer for everything you're going to ask him. Like he's been on interviews and panel a lot, so he knows how to answer your question. He's like made notes or bullet points, so he's like fresh in the game. So that's like two opposite ends of guests on these press panels, and I like that. Let's see. I don't hate Fallon, but I agree, not crazy for making guests play games. Definitely feels awkward with some guests for sure. Oof, always. Heather Langenkamp and Amanda Wyss on the OG Elm Street, though. Yes, dude. I agree. Oh, I didn't see that. That's so genuine. I love those guys so much. Yeah, rewatch the Nightmare on Elm Street trivia. When Jay rolls the dice and he rolls a 1, he's like, oh, he picks up the dice and he rolls again. Because Mike's like, he's dancing so fun. So they really try to be nice to Mike, which I like. You could tell it's true friendship with those guys. Fair. Mike deserves a win every once in a while. Yep. Let's see. Comedy rule 3 is no more, no less. Otherwise, it feels cheap. It just feels like, I guess it does feel cheap. Like, no, way too many times. Let's see. Haha. Air being a secret people Space Jam, it would be amazing. Air is lovely and highly recommended. I'm a huge fan of Ben Affleck. I was like one of the 3 people who saw Live by Night. I love The Accountant. Yeah, he's the best. Oh, Whitney Kibler's here. Whitney Kibler. I believe I can fly. Here we go. Do you want to make a YouTube proof of a Little Mermaid 2023? I have not even seen the trailer for the new Little Mermaid. I'll have to watch it though, because spoiler alert, upcoming this at the end of the month. Let me check out what the day it's going to be. Let me pull up my calendar. Yeah, it'll be on the 30th. I'll have an episode where me and my friend Tara talk about Disney and talk about like the nostalgia and digging up old things and trying to make them new again. I'm not 100% sure, but that's like the ballpark of what we're going to be talking about for Disney. And by then I'll probably have seen the Little Mermaid trailer, but I have not even watched the trailer. I'm not really interested because I like the original Little Mermaid. I like the original Mermaid so much I made a YouTube poop of it, but I don't think I'm not into a remake of it, especially if it's remade by people who don't understand that Ariel didn't leave the water for Eric. Ariel left the water to walk and live among humans. Eric was just a happy accident, like legitimately happy accident. And they're so like, oh, she left the ocean for a man. Like, no, she's saying part of your world before she even knew Eric existed. So, I don't know. That's my take. That's my hot take. Oh, that would be a great idea, but they'll never do it because she's in jail, Hollywood jail. Literally just had a dream that Gina Carano. Wait, is Gina Carano? Did I make a mistake? Is Gina Carano the other one, or is Gina Carano the one in movie jail? Gina Carano. Oh, it is. She's the one in movie jail. That would be. Oh man, she'd be a great Mrs. Claus. But if you still want to do that idea, I would pick, because I think she's still in good shape. Let's see, what's her name? It's here. I know. Carla Gugino, aka Lisa Ann from San Andreas. I think she'd be cool as a Mrs. Claus. I think that's a good age range too for a Mrs. Claus for a Violent Night 2. You know what, Violent Night 2, they threw me off because I was expecting like John Wick type fights, and that never really happened. And like there was like there was some great parts. It's one of those movies where it's like the highs are really high and the lows are really low. And I felt like there was like a little element missing from Violent Night. There should have been a part in Violent Night where like the more that what's his name? The more that Kris Kringle fights and becomes angry and becomes the old Viking he used to be, the less magic he has. There should have been some sort of balance where he has to stay Kris Kringle, the nice guy, and not the Viking. There should have been some sort of like little backstory tale, like maybe like a little elf or something, or like a little recording in the Christmas list that said he used to be this, and the more he becomes the older version Viking killer, he loses his powers, and thus in the movie when he becomes badass, there's a chance that he might die. I don't know. Could have been like a little thing they could have thrown in just to make the story a little bit better. But yeah. Let's see. Next question. Yeah, totally. That makes the Living Dead remake different. Barbara Wet Blanket in the OG, but she's a badass in the remake. Yes. And I'm bummed that she never really did anything else. She like did that movie and maybe like one or two other movies, and she didn't really do anything. She was good in that movie though. The part where she keeps shooting the zombie after they say it's not undead is so good. Yes. What about Hot Ones? I like Hot Ones. It's a good one. It's where they, Bob Odenkirk and Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd and Idris Elba. I like Hot Ones. Hot Ones is good. I felt Conan was the only one who kept it real and is really interested in the guests he brought on. I like Conan he's staying ahead of the game. He has always stayed ahead of the game, which I find funny because in the 90s, in his 2000s, like the late night show, he was tapping into that absurdist humor that would later take off in the mid 2000s. And then after that, he started doing more serious interviews, like when he went to the TBS show, like he still did panel. And then he switched over to just the two people sitting there talking for half an hour because he started like learning, like, you know what? No one really cares about the second guest. And the second guest doesn't really have a story, so I'm going to just bring on people for that half an hour and give them a solid interview. And then after that, he did his podcast, which is even more like let me get to know you. Let's riff on, stupid shit. Like his interview with Kevin Nealon is so hilarious on his podcast because it's bullshit. It's nothing. It's like a waste of time. Like your brain cells die listening to that thing, but it's just two best friends riffing. It's fantastic. His interview was with like Bob Odenkirk, where you learn about their history. I had to re-listen to it the other night because I love the story where Bob Odenkirk and Conan O'Brien were writing on Saturday Night Live. They were so bored, and they had this box full of product because like people would send product to SNL, like, "Hey, use the product in a sketch." So they had these little gush balls. They used scissors, cut the rubber skin off so it's like the gush ball, and they threw it at the wall, and they kept throwing darts at the wall, and it got so fucked up overnight. So there's this white wall, nothing with like gush spots all over it and like holes from all the darts. And Lorne Michaels comes in, looks at the wall, and just like, and literally got people to fix the wall because Bob Odenkirk and Conan O'Brien fucked it up. It was so good. I love hearing stories like that, and I'm starting to really just to enjoy the dynamic between Gorley and Sonia on Conan Needs a Friend. Just hearing their little bits in the beginning of the show is hilarious. That's so funny. Like them talk about s'mores or mole walking as of recently, just like riffing on stupid crap. I love that because I like when friends riff on stupid crap because it's like inside jokes and stuff that is really funny. I also do love his interviews, like the one recently with Timothy Oliphant, where like they talk about their friendship and how Conan wasn't able to see his friend for like 2 years, and the only way to get his friend to see him was to invite him on. And then Timothy was really upset that Conan never went to see him, even though they're like they're best friends. People know them as friends, and like they have like this weird dynamic. Great stuff. But yeah, I love Conan. I actually saw twice. I saw the late night show, I think. No. I saw one of his Tonight shows. And I remember being there and just being like, holy shit, wow. Because Mark Wahlberg was the guest, and Mark Wahlberg was stonewalling him, giving him yes, no answers during the interview. I was like, holy shit, I've never seen anything like this. It seemed like Mark Wahlberg did not want to be on the Tonight Show or whatever. I don't like he was pissy, like he shit his pants or something. I don't know what, but he was so angry with Conan, or not. I don't know, maybe the whole situation or something. But like he was so bad on the panel, and then the second guest, I believe, was John Krasinski or Patton. I might be blending both the shows I went to because I saw the Tonight Show and I saw him on TBS, and then I saw him between the Tonight Show and the TBS show. I did get tickets to see him for his tour. You know how he went on tour, and because he couldn't be on TV, so he could tour with people. And I saw that show. Jim Carrey was there, Sarah Silverman, and like a ton of other people. But it stands out Jim Carrey was there because he wore the Kick-Ass outfit, and I believe Conan was wearing the Superman outfit. Man, that was such an iconic, hilarious night. But yeah, I love Conan. Conan is the best, and I feel very lucky to have caught that show, the live one, because you always think like, oh, they're going to do it one day again, but he never did. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, Conan came off as genuine on play the format. Definitely feels like other late night shows try to stand out and try to be the next Conan of some kind. I feel like they're grasping at an era that doesn't exist anymore, and it's sad. You need to listen to more. I don't have time, Whitney. I don't have time. I don't have time to listen to podcasts. There's podcasts that I want to listen to, but I don't even have time. It's like I want to listen to the Purple Stuff podcast. I want to listen to what the hell is the other? I want to listen to Conan Needs Friend. I want to listen to Bill Burr. I want to listen to that one other dumb show. It's a controversial show. I don't even know what the hell it's called, but I want to listen to more of that. But like, I don't have time. Who has time for podcasts? I don't know. It's like I like safe choices. It's like I'd rather rewatch a Red Letter Media video than listen to something new or something. I don't know. I don't have time though. It's like I gotta record a video after this because I was too lazy earlier because I was too busy watching old shows and catching up with things. It's like, who has time? Who's got the time? That's why I watch the press junkets, because they're like 5-10 minute little snuggets. And the same thing with the Conan O'Brien thing. Like the Conan O'Brien thing are like 5-10 little minute nuggets. It's like, that's all I can handle. I can't handle just listening to, I don't know. I don't have the time. I don't have time for podcasts. It's like I need to be working on something, on the computer that doesn't require headphones. It's like if I'm working on like a poster or a flyer at work or something, then I can do that. But I really don't get those as often as I used to. But like if I have that, then I can do that. But it's like I can't squeeze in podcasts into my life. I can't. And the reason why I listen to Smartless is just because it pops up on my YouTube. I don't listen to it on Spotify. My Lord. I find it on YouTube. Hot take, pun intended. The Hot Ones guy feels fake to me. The interview questions are more depth, but it feels like he's in turn copy pasting. That is fair. I'll agree to that. That is fair. I was waiting for the Sofia Coppola Little Mermaid remake with Chloe Moretz for years. So bummed it got canned. Really? So she was supposed to remake it? That would have had vision. That would have had vision. The fight with the one guy at the pool table is the best part of Violent Night. I think so. That's like the first fight, right? Yeah. And then I love the Kira references in the Little Mermaid YouTube poop. Thanks. Now that's I feel it's so funny. Like everyone's talking about podcasts and interviews, and then this one goes back to YouTube proofs and Little Mermaid. Yes, for Little Mermaid, I think I explained this on the retrospective, but like the Little Mermaid, hang on, let me take a drink here because I've been talking like solid for like 10, 15 minutes. The Little Mermaid YouTube poop was originally going to just to be the 5 minutes. Because whenever I watch back in the day when I did YouTube poop, back in the day, I would watch a movie. Anyway, I just looked at myself on the screen. I would watch a movie and write down notes as I'm watching the movie. I'm like, okay, that connects to that. Okay, I could do a joke here. Okay, I like that line. Maybe I could make him say something else. And I would do that way. I had like a page or two of Little Mermaid jokes. And as I started editing, I realized I'm like, oh, this is not going to be the normal 5-minute video. This is going to be a feature length thing. So I broke it down in parts. I think that's actually one of the first things I tried to do. I tried to find the parts where what would be the good cliffhangers? Like, okay, where can I break it up? Okay, part 1 ends here, part 2 ends here, part 3 ends here, part 4, part 5, and so on. I found the endings first and then like built on from there in like different segments because I had tons of jokes. And I was like, okay, I need to split these into like episodes basically. And it was fascinating to edit that and just realize like, oh shit, I really like this movie enough and I'm finding more jokes as I'm editing. I need to edit this. Personally, I think part 3 is the weakest. Part 5 is good. Ariel has legs. Maybe part 4 is weak. I don't remember what is part 4. Okay, so first one introduces everything with Barney. Da, 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 da. So there's some good parts in that. Oh yeah, that cracks me up, guys. There was a comment because I reloaded all my original files to Site B, and someone said, "Hey, can you upload a HD copy of this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Find me an HD copy of Shark Attack, the board game commercial, for real." Holy Christ. And then, yeah, sure. Find me an HD copy of the girl screaming that old meme. No, I'm not going to find that. It's so stupid. Anyway, I was editing all these things and it's just, so part 1 introduces everything. Part 2 is a little bit more fun because I think that's the one where Ariel meets Eric. So there's some good jokes in that one. Part 3, I think, is weak. I think the only funny part in part 3 is I cut around the Under the Sea song where it's like the human world and it goes Ariel and like she does that. I think like that's the best part of 3. 4, what's part 4? I gotta Google this. I have to Google this because I don't remember. I don't remember my own YouTube poop and I apologize. Let's see. Little Mermaid YTP. I made it 10 years ago. Come on, guys. Give me a break here. Give me a break, please. Please, senor. Okay, there it is. Okay, so Sebastian's the boss. Oops, hang on. Mute that. Oh, God, it's loading forever and ever. Let's see. Since that's on pause, let's put a pin in that while that page loads. Barney in the clamshell always makes me crack up whenever I rewatch the series. I always forget you put him in there. And it's a funny surprise. Yes. And it's so good because that whole scene, like, there's nothing there anyway. So putting any character there, it's perfect. It was like made for YouTube poop. Let's see. I notice how in the Night of the Living Dead remake, the character Ben actually turns out into a zombie as in the original film. 1968, he's mistaken for one. Yeah, it's like I like the remake because it puts a twist on the story enough of the original to make it worth existing. Because there's a lot of remakes out there that don't really do that. They just do the same crap over and over. Because I know everyone's like, oh, why remake it? But there's a lot of good remakes out there. Night of the Living Dead remake is a good one. The Fly is a good one. The Thing, The Blob, what else is a good remake? I was just thinking, oh damn. Anyway, but yeah, there's tons of great remakes out there. I would even I know people might disagree with me, but I'm going to talk about it because it's coming up soon. I think the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is good. I'm going to die on that hill. I think it's good. It has a purpose. It's different. It puts a spin on the original. It adds new characters, memorable characters. Usually, remakes or sequels can't do that. But like I believe Sherrod Hewitt, what's his name? Is it Hewitt? Yeah, Hewitt. Sheriff Hewitt is like a great addition to the world. I like that. I like the whole aesthetic. I like the brute Leatherface because it changes it. It's no longer like, ooh, the timid Leatherface, which is a great character, by the way. The timid Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw 1, 2, 3. The fourth one, I don't even know what's going on with the fourth movie. But at least the first three have like that timid Leatherface. But I like the brute force of the new Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw 2003 and the beginning. I do appreciate that. That's really cool. So I appreciate remakes that add something to it. So that's definitely one. And the reason why I bring it up is because Niagara Falls Comic-Con is going to have Leatherface, the guy, in the original OG costume. And if you guys know me, I freaking love Leatherface, dude. I love Leatherface. He's like one of the best things. I love Texas Chainsaw. And to actually meet one of the Leatherfaces would be so great because I missed out on Gunnar Hansen, R.I.P., the original OG Leatherface, who will always be iconic. But I do think the 2003 dude is awesome as well. But yeah. We have a comment from Whitney Kibler. Whitney Kibler. Oh, me and Stuart talk about this in pilot, and I almost want to wait to answer it for that one because I don't want to repeat myself. But I do answer the question here about Whitney asks, "Are you excited about the new Wes Anderson film?" I'm a fan of old Wes Anderson. I'll say that. I guess I could talk about it just a little bit because it's gonna be a whole week from now. So I like old Wes Anderson. I love Bottle Rocket. I love Rushmore. I love Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, Steve Zissou. But then there was a moment where I got turned off. And it's I do like Isle of Dogs, but that's okay because it's a stop motion movie. But everything after Budapest Hotel, I have skipped. I have not watched. And it's just because I'm not into that very, very stylized Wes Anderson where everything looks fake. It's too much for me. I don't dig that. I do this in the pilot episode, but I compare new Wes Anderson to Michael Bay. So you have they're the same. They're exactly the same. So we have Michael Bay, if we have Wes Anderson. When they both started out, they were really great. You had The Rock and Armageddon, Bottle Rocket, and Rushmore, and they had to deal with the studio. They had to deal with producers limiting their creation and what they could do. And then they got popular, and then you have Michael Bay making fucking Transformers with a blank check. He's got 10 helicopters. He's got the U.S. Army backing him. He's so great. He's got explosions everywhere. And then Wes Anderson, the more popular he gets, the more freedom he gets with his films. And his films look so fake and storybook-like and fantastical and sickening looking, where they're not even movies anymore. And the same thing happened to Michael Bay. And I find it so funny that I compare them both the same because they both started out in the 90s. They both started out with low-budget movies, the Bad Boys and Bottle Rocket, and they slowly became popular. And the more popular they got, the more control they had over movies, and the more control they had over movies, the more of their style grasped onto the movie, where it became less of a movie. I know it's funny to compare the two, but it's the God honest truth of Michael Bay and Wes Anderson. The more control they have over a movie, the more wild it gets. Now, I'm sure it's probably loaded by now. Let's go to the page. Playlists, and let's walk through let's go through a sort of meta commentary. So part 2, Bane watches aerial science fiction stories. So that's a good entry. Part 2 is good. Part 3 is weak. Part 4 is weak. I think the best part of part 4 is like, I know a little magic. Part 5, Ariel Stern. I think that one's okay. Part 5's okay. Part 6 is probably my favorite. Part 7, people said that was the weak point, which I do agree. And part 8 is okay. There's enough cool things in part 8 that makes it good. But like it's not solid. Like to me, part 1 is solid, part 2 is solid, part 5 is solid, part 6 is solid. So out of like half the series is solid to me. I don't know how everyone else feels as a subscriber. I don't know how subscribers feel about it, but like there's at least 4 parts that I completely love and they're great and last. But like there's other ones I'm like, oh, here we go. A bunch of comments just uploaded. Okay, next comment. Asteroid City looks phenomenal. Always good day when a new SN. I'm so sorry. Oh man. Yeah. I'm great. I'm happy people are excited about the new Wes Anderson, but it's like I miss old Wes Anderson. I miss when his movies look like movies. Because he's gone too far. He's gone too far in the new with his vision. He's gone too far. Slash feed the ending of the original Living Dead so perfect that Tom Savini doesn't even try to recreate it. Yes, Tom Savini respects. The Fly was produced by Mel Brooks. I read that he didn't want his name in the credits because he didn't want people to think it was a comedy. I feel like he did the same thing for freaking Elephant Man, where he didn't want his name in the credits because like they would think it was a comedy. But yeah, Mel Brooks is definitely awesome. Yep, Elephant. Yeah, see, filler vision. See, you see, Pet Sematary remake is actually pretty enjoyable. I haven't seen it. It's that Jason Clarke movie. Jason Clarke loves the remakes. Bottle Rocket is so freaking dude. Bottle Rocket is so influential to me. Like I remember, I don't know if it is. So on my Chief Brody Rules YouTube channel, there is a movie called. It's my short film. I don't even know what the hell it's called. Chief Brody Rules short film. Hopefully it pops up. If it doesn't, it sucks. It didn't pop up. Oh, there it is. The Ballad of Howard. The Ballad of Howard is inspired by Bottle Rocket, or at least there's elements that are inspired by it. I don't know if it's ever mentioned in my short film, but the boss is Mr. Henry, and that was the name I lifted from Bottle Rocket. And Howard, I'm trying to remember I got the name Howard. I think I got the name Howard from my favorite movie, What's Up, Doc? But yeah, Bottle Rocket was sort of like an influence to me when I made my short film, which is good. It's great stuff. Great stuff. There was once a remake of classic Stephen King movie Salem's Lot. Yes, there was Rob Lowe. I want to get into Rob Lowe movies. Speaking of which, there's a Kino Lorber sale going on, and there's a movie. Oh God, what the hell is it called? I gotta Google it. Google it. What page was it? Okay, Carlo Gugino, and then I'm gonna look up Rob Lowe. There is a movie on sale, and it's one of his early ones, and I want to get it. And I forgot what the hell it's called. I think it's like Loveless. What the hell is it called? Youngblood. That's what it's called. Youngblood. It's on Kino Lorber, and I'm definitely going to pick it up next weekend. Kino Lorber has this amazing sale where it's like their $24.99 Blu-rays are like $10, and their DVDs are like $5. But it's good. It's a good sale. Check it out. Let's see. I like the stylized stuff of his a lot, but I totally get what you're saying. Love Life Aquatic. Life Aquatic is good because even though it gets sort of like it's like that fine balance, because in Life Aquatic there's like realistic stuff. There's still like live action locations. And then like when you get underwater, it becomes fantastical. It looks like stop motion fun. There's that good balance. It's not like when you're in the real world, it looks all fake. In the real world, it legit looks like a real location, practical things, real. But like his stuff now is just so stylized. It's just like I don't know if I could watch Asteroid City for however long the movie is because granted, it looks great. Every shot looks great, well composed. You could tell so much detail went into the movie, but like everything is in focus. Everything looks like that, and I don't know if I could handle that. I really don't. Like I interesting enough. Interesting enough. Okay, so last week somebody asked me what was my favorite Mad Max movie, and I had a hard time explaining it. But then I just rewatched the Red Letter Media review of Mad Max 2 review with Rich and Jay, and they talk about how Road Warrior is still gritty and has that storybook effect, but like Fury Road is full storybook and fantasy, and like there's like castles and everything looks artistic and it's beautiful to look at. And I think that's what it is. I like my movies to at least have at least one toe in reality. I was going to say 1 foot in reality, but like we just started this podcast with me saying I want to go to Mario Land, but like even in that Mario movie, there's that one toe in reality when they go to Brooklyn. You know what I mean? So I like movies that are not too fantastical. I like that one toe in reality. And I think that might explain a lot of my opinion on stuff. Because even though, for example, like Lord of the Rings looks completely fantastical and all that, the toe is still in reality that people still have to farm. They have to wear chainmail. There's like arrows. People will die. But then, like, I can't get into something like Harry Potter where, like, everything's fantastical. They could do this. They could do that. There's time travel. They got magic devices. People can come back from the dead. They're having, like, night vision. They're going into different worlds. And it's like, not my tempo. So I think that's what it is. I don't like that fantastical world of the current Wes Anderson. It's too far into the storybook aesthetic. At least I think so. I think that's that's what I think. So let's go. Okay. Next comment is the Darjeeling Limited is probably my favorite Wes Anderson. That's another one that's still in reality. I enjoy that one as well, where it's a realistic movie. It's still in the real world. It's not overly stylized. It still has that Wes Anderson touch, but it's still in the real world, and I enjoy that. Yes, Cat People. There you go. That was one of the ones I was kind of thinking of. I was like, I know there's tons of them in here. They're all. I have like, there's one person in my brain has to go through all the file cabinets. Like, the remakes. What is it? Let's see. Original Cat People, Cursed Cat People, pretty entertaining. Yes. Definitely both great films. Just think the remake works more for me. Yes. And then Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Good remake. Ooh, I was not aware of this. Got to check out your short film. Yes, it's on my YouTubes. The Ballad of Howard. The Ballad of Howard. Yes, What's Up, Doc is the best. At one point, I'll talk about What's Up, Doc on my channel. Rob Lowe is great in Bad Influence. Yes, dude. I feel like I'm at least I am. I'm waiting for the Rob Lowe movie that puts him to like, you know how like Keanu Reeves sort of got like a second career with John Wick. I feel like I'm waiting for that for Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe needs his Taken. Rob Lowe needs his John Wick. He needs that for him. He needs that. Rob Lowe needs his Better Call Saul or some shit. Like he was good on Parks and Rec, but I feel like we need that dark tone Rob Lowe. We need Rob Lowe back. Bring back Rob Lowe. Here we go. Frozen Unthawed, Frozen Global Meltdown. Our big videos when they're first uploaded. Will the third one end at all? I've said this multiple times. There will not be a third one. There will not be a third one. Said this multiple times. No third one. There's a short vid where Wes makes an announcement of Isle of Dogs, and it's just him on webcam, but he still composes the shot like it's one of his movies. You know, one of my favorite commercials is the one he did for American Express, and I love that. It was because it's so Wes Anderson, where like Wes Anderson's like, cut, hello, I'm Wes Anderson, and I don't go anywhere without my American Express card. And then the car explodes and like these birds fly. He's like, wait, I need those birds. And it's so great because it's a Wes Anderson movie and it's starring Wes Anderson. I freaking like, I would love a movie like that. I would love a meta Wes Anderson movie where it's about Wes Anderson directing a movie, but it's within his fictional world. where Wes Anderson is in the world of Wes Anderson, so everything is still shot that way, even though it's like meta. Like I would love that. If I could have a feature length movie like his American Express commercial, I would love that, where nothing goes right on the movie, and it's all about movie making and how at the end of the movie, after it's all said and done and edited and put together with music, everyone loves the movie, even though it was a nightmare to make. I would love that Wes Anderson movie. I don't think it'll ever happen though. Love 78 Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Really great job of taking the original film's concept and updating it for the new setting and time period. Yes, that sounds awesome. There's also Body Snatchers remake in the 90s, which I do believe I've heard good things about as well. Yeah. My flaming hot take is that even though people say Martin Scorsese's Cape Fear remake is better than the original, I think it actually sucks hard and doesn't hold a candle to the original. I like both. I like both. I can't shit on one or the other, because the new Cape Fear has some iconic moments, and then the old one has some really great iconic moments. Because freaking Robert Mitchum, dude, Robert Mitchum. I love the Christmas commercial, dude. So lovely. Christmas commercial. Wes Anderson? Must be. Wes Anderson do multiple commercials. I like the American Express commercial, and I do like the one he did with Brad Pitt, which I'm like, oh, dude, I would love a Wes Anderson movie starring Brad Pitt. That was so great, because like Brad Pitt, like he plays like a Chaplin-like character where he doesn't say anything. He's like with his little flip phone. Yeah, so looked up Wes Anderson commercials for sure. Gregory Peck and Robert Mitchum were great in Cape Fear. Yes, that's so awesome. Yes, the American Express commercial, so great. Yeah, I remember they used to play it on the big screen for the longest time, so maybe that's why I'm thinking like I would love to see that as a movie, because I want to see a meta Wes Anderson movie where everything goes wrong and you have Bill Murray there. It'd be so fun. Oh man, love that idea so much. We need Wes Anderson's Day for Night. Yes. Daddy Robert Mitchum. Big Daddy Robert Mitchum. Veronica Cartwright, who appeared in Invasion of Body Snatchers from 1978, was also in the remake of the 2000s. Ooh. Oh no, I met the. Oh God, is everything uploaded? Hang on, let me check, because I've noticed my feed has not been keeping up with comments, so I want to make sure I'm all caught up, because I find it hard to believe that I'm out here. Let's see. Let's pull it up on the Chief Brody Rules stream. I don't know if that's a good way to watch it. Perhaps not. Nope. Nothing's popping up. Nothing's popping up. What gives? All right. So what's the next topic I could talk about? I have written here Barbie. The new Barbie movie looks amazing. I think Barbie is my Elvis of 2023. Because, okay, so explain. So when Elvis was coming out last year, I was so excited for that movie. Like, that was one of the first trailers in a long time where I went through the trailer and like just screen grabbed every shot, because I loved every shot in that Elvis trailer. Like, we can go on together with suspicious mind. So good. And then like when he's like, it has everything to do with us. It's so good. That trailer is one of the best trailers ever. And I would screen grab it and watch it all the time and have it on loop, and just, I love that Elvis trailer. And those trailers are so far and few between for me. And then like this year, that Barbie trailer is just so great. I love all the shot compositions. I love all the goofy shit. I love that when she takes her foot out of the shoes, they stay the exact same way. I'm like, oh, that's great. And then I love that there's been 2 trailers, and they're both basically teaser trailers, and they give none of the plot away. And I hope they keep that up. If they make a 3rd trailer, I hope it's another teaser that doesn't give shit away, because I love that I have no idea what this movie is going to be about. I just know that Barbie is in Barbie world, and somehow she goes into the real world. And I can only assume that in the real world, Will Ferrell must be like a Waylon Smithers type person who creates and designs Barbies. I can only assume. But yeah, I love every shot in that Barbie trailer. I love the idea. I love how they're like, hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Ken. Hi, Barbie. That shit is hilarious. And I like that I'm getting the vibes of those 90s movies. I'm getting the vibes of Beverly Hillbillies. I'm getting the vibes of Addams Family Values, Addams Family, Casper. What's the other one where it's like um Dark Shadows, where it's about like IP that's famous, and it's about them going to like the real world, like the Brady Bunch movie. I never saw the movie, but I can only assume that that's what it's about. And it's so fun. I like this new Barbie trailer movie, and it's just I'm excited. Like if I had the option to see Oppenheimer and Barbie, I'm probably going to see Barbie because like Oppenheimer, you got Cillian Murphy. Oh, Killian Murphy, I think that's his name. Killian Murphy is finally the lead of a Christopher Nolan movie. I feel like Christopher Nolan's been dancing around it for the longest time. Killian Murphy is finally the lead. Jack Quaid is in the movie. I think Florence Pugh is in the movie. Like that cast is stacked. But I'm more excited about the Barbie movie. Yeah, so excited. It's gonna be fun. Oh man. All right, looks like the comments caught up. Let's go through them. Barbie looks phenomenal. Totally hyped to see it. Hang on, we got another comment I skipped out on. Never saw the recent remake with Nicole Kidman, The Invasion. I think that's what it's called. Yes, The Invasion. It came out in like 2007, 2008, I believe. Nope. It had been 2007, 2008 because when I was in my high school ages, I started getting Empire magazine. And I think I started getting that magazine in 2007 because I think the first issue of Empire magazine I ever purchased had Bruce Willis on the cover with Matt Damon and Simon Pegg from Hot Fuzz. I believe they were all on the cover. And it was through those magazines because I collected it from at least 2007 until like 2013. I believe. So the Invasion, it would have to come out between that time, and I think it came out in 2008. But yeah, it's good. I could easily look it up, but I'm trying to use my movie knowledge. What else we got here? I love when actors from the original come back to the remake. The idea of Andrea Martin and Black Christmas. Oh, that is cool when they come back for the remakes. That is always fun. That is always fun. I noticed how the Barbie teaser trailer plays homage to the classic. Oh, that was the original one. That was the original teaser trailer. I'm talking about like the new one. But that is so awesome. When I saw that trailer, I'm like, oh damn! Like if that if that reference to 2001 is not in the movie, I'll be so happy because that means they filmed that teaser trailer specifically for a teaser trailer. And I miss when movies would do that. I remember they did that for the Incredible Hulk. Oh, I should say more specifically, the 2003 Hulk movie where Eric Bana is shaving in the bathroom, and they filmed that teaser where Hulk busts out of the house, and there was the teaser trailer, and then the War of the Worlds teaser trailer, which was awesome, where it's like this little suburb, and you just see all these explosions in the distance on the hill, and all these families just come out to watch it. Oh, that's one of the great teasers. Even the Jurassic Park teaser, where it's all these guys digging in the ground, and they find the amber, and it goes inside the amber, and then you just hear like a dinosaur roar, a generic dinosaur roar. So good. So good stuff. Okay, what else we got here? New Barbie trailer sold me the movie way more than the first one did. The gags worked really well, though I'm worried they might just be trailer jokes. That could be true. I am a little worried about that. I'm a little worried where it might be like, oh, it's all like political correctness, or I'm afraid it might be the robot from Solo. If Barbie is like the robot from Solo, I'm going to be so sad. If you guys seen Solo, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys haven't seen Solo, please watch Solo. Let's see. I'm still Team Oppenheimer though. Oh, Shane. Well, people have to pick different teams, and I agree. So, like, there's like a Deep Impact team, and then there's an Armageddon team, and there's a Team Bugs Life, and there's Team Ants. I get it. This is the big giant debate of all time: Oppenheimer versus Barbie. Dark Shadows is such a favorite of mine. Always revisit no matter what. Really love that one. I need to pick it up. The thing is, I've been holding out. I'm holding out because I know I think there's a German release, but I don't know if it's available in the States. But there's a huge Warner Brothers box. Oh, at least I want it. I want a huge Warner Brothers box of Tim Burton movies because that dude has been so loyal. I think there was like a few years where he jumped ship to go to like 20th Century Fox or whatever. But Tim Burton has been so loyal to Warner Brothers. I would love that box set because I think like at least 85% of his movies are with Warner Brothers, which is astounding. Like he's like sort of like the Nolan, because like Nolan was with Warner Brothers for so long, but I feel like so was Tim Burton. And I would love that box set. I would love a box set with like Pee-wee, Batman, Batman Returns, Mars Attacks. I don't think Edward's Warner Brothers though, so I wouldn't have that. It would have Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice. I think Sleepy Hollow. I believe Sleepy Hollow was one of them. And then like I think Big Eyes was another one where it's like, you know. But yeah, that would be a good box set, and Dark Shadows would be included for sure. For sure. But yeah, I dug it. Let's see. That War of the Worlds teaser messed me up. Haha, I love it now, but when I first saw it, freaked me out. Dude, it's such a good directed teaser. For those who are watching, check out the teaser trailer for War of the Worlds. One of the best teasers ever because they filmed. It's not a scene from a movie. It's the scene that they filmed specifically for the teaser, and that was really cool. Oh, dude, I totally forgot one of my all-time favorite teasers, which is Last Action Hero, where it opens up with like a small screen because you're in the movie theater, and the screen slowly becomes big, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger pulls up and is like Slater, and he's gonna go in, and it's like riffing on the Terminator theme, and then he looks at the screen, and then he like looks out in the audience, and he's like, "Sorry, come back later." Last Action Hero, and it's so cool. It's only a shame that the movie bombed. Solo was so good. Watch Solo. I'm Han Solo. Han Solo. Let's see. Two of the actors who were in the original War of the Worlds had a cameo in a remake. Ooh, I'd have to watch that again because I do have the War of the Worlds original from Criterion. And that was amazing too because I had never seen War of the Worlds a few years ago. I think it was like when they added to Criterion, I bought it right away. So I watched the original War of the Worlds, and I was watching it. I was like, damn, Independence Day lifted so much from that original one because the main character has like glasses, and he has like the specific look, and it's purely Jeff Goldblum. They took his look from the original War of the Worlds and gave it to Jeff Goldblum. I was like, God damn, they stole all of that. Damn. But yeah, and then rewatching the new War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, that took me right back because I completely forgot about like the 9/11 crap. Like I totally forgot about it because when I bought the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, Tom Cruise, aliens, and then I watched it. I was like, oh shit, that's right. This was like a movie dealing with like 9/11 before, like, you know, I think World Trade Center came out in like 2006, and War of the Worlds came out in like 2004. So I feel like this was like the first movie to really deal with like 9/11, or at least like kind of, sort of, you know. Oh man, yeah, I should rewatch those. I definitely should. Yeah. I think the Secret Sauce of Barbie is going to be Noah Baumbach co-writing screenplay. That man does not miss. All right. I'll take your word for it, Shane. I'll take your word for it. I'll hold you to it. I think Big Eyes was Disney, even though Weinstein Company was still a great film. Oh, that's possible. That is possible. Big Eyes is phenomenal. Yeah. Tim Burton still has it. He's just got to, I think he's just got to care. If Tim Burton cares about the project, then it'll be good. If he doesn't, like if it's a guy filming for hire, he might not like it. Even though like Batman's good, even though Batman's sort of crazy. I think he found what he liked about Batman, and I also think that I think Jack Nicholson really had a good hand on what made Batman work. Because I remember watching the behind the scenes, I'm sure you guys have too, where they actually got Jack Nicholson to talk about Batman for those interviews. And not only is he talking about Batman, he is so soaked and dosed himself as the Joker. Because I think he's like wearing like a purple like vest with like a purple shirt, and he's got like little Joker pins or Batman pins on. And he just loved talking about making Batman. And that shocked me because like for years, I always thought like Jack Nicholson was just like, you know, they hired Jack Nicholson to be in the Batman movie. But it looks like he really loved and is honored to be part of that Batman movie. And it's kind of heartwarming because I remember watching those interviews on that Blu-ray because I think I'm sure everyone here owns that Blu-ray with all those awesome behind the scenes. And it's so great to see Jack Nicholson so excited about being the Joker and so honored about it. But the weird thing is they couldn't get Michael Keaton because all of Michael Keaton's stuff was like archive stuff, which is like, that's weird. It's weird. Signs is also post 9/11 alien film. Yes. Oh my God, Signs. Dude. One of my favorite teaser trailers is from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. You know, there's some great horror teaser trailers though, because I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and 3. Oh my gosh, I remember this. But more specifically, the third one. There are some stories told and often forgotten, but legends are forever. Da-da-da. And you instead of the sword of the stone, it's the chainsaw that comes out of the ocean and it's thrown by the girl in the lake. And the chainsaw flips in the air and Leatherface grabs it and it's like, and it gets struck by lightning. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. The saw. Oh, the buzz is back or something like that. So good. So good. Has nothing to do with the movie, but if they went campy like that, I would think it'd be so cool. It somehow merge like Excalibur and Leatherface. I think that would be amazing. As an alien movie dealing with a post 9/11 mindset, yes. I know probably wouldn't be as good, but I wish Burton got to make his Superman Lives. That is the greatest what if of all time, isn't it? If Tim Burton got to make Superman, I think that would be world changing because we probably would never got Spider-Man. We would probably never got X-Men. It would change the face of superheroes nowadays. I don't know if we'd be knee deep in superhero films if that movie existed. You know, it's like a weird what if or like a weird like wow that happened because I always find it weird, and I always think it's like a Biff Tannen thing or some shit. I always find it weird that George Lucas wanted the merchandising rights for Star Wars because no one ever wanted those. No one ever thought about those. But when he did Star Wars, he's like, give me the merchandise rights for it. Like, how did he know? I almost feel like an old George Lucas made a time machine, went back in time and say, hey, George, you're going to make a movie called Star Wars. And I think instead of doing the whole movie, you should only do like this part and then split it up into 3 movies. And then when you make the deal, I think you should, get the copyright, get the merchandise rights for Star Wars. Because it's some weird Biff Tannen shit. It is so weird because whenever you watch those behind the scenes of Star Wars, whatever it's called, like Behind the Empire or Making of the Empire or whatever, and you hear how everyone was just baffled of when George Lucas is like, give me the merchandise rights for Star Wars. It's so weird. So weird. Let's see. Really hope Nicholson comes back as Joker and Flash. Love Dr. Sleep, but I wish he had come back as Jack. No, the thing that makes Dr. Sleep stand out so well is that they didn't do that deep fake crap. They hired actors to live those characters because the girl who they got to play Shelley Duvall is fantastic. When she said, "Oh my God, guys, okay, I should talk about Dr. Sleep." I don't think I was that excited for Dr. Sleep when I saw the trailers and whatnot, but I wanted to see it. So I went to see it, and I remember like crying. I was crying how well it was made in like the first 15 minutes because you hear that girl, the actress they got to play Shelley Duvall, and she's like, "Daddy, I missed you." And like I was like, "Oh my God," because I love The Shining. The Shining's probably it's in my top 20 movies. If you watch my channel, the top 20 favorite movies by Chief Rody Rules, The Shining's up there. And I cried so much during that scene because like I was like, oh my God, she's like young and they didn't do stupid deep fake. And then like even the scene with the fake what's his name? Oh God, I'm blanking on names on the stream. If I was watching the stream, I'd be like, it's this character, stupid. Oh my God. There we go. I'd be if I was watching my own stream, I'd be like, you idiot. Dick Hallorann, yes, the Dick Hallorann character. They got an actor so good to play Dick Hallorann, and oh man, that was great. It was a little off for the Jack Nicholson character, but I'm glad that they didn't do a stupid deep fake. They actually got an actor to do a good performance. And yes, I know it's the guy who played Elliot from the original E.T. who's doing the Jack Torrance. But like, yeah, man, that was so, and that's another sort of like remake or legacy sequel that has a cameo from the original kid, because the guy who played the original Danny is in the baseball scene, like, oh, that's my son out there, or that kid's playing good baseball or whatever. Like, yeah, but yeah, I love Dr. Sleep. That's one I should revisit because it's sort of what they should have done with Star Wars. Like honestly, because like it's almost like because like I think the reason why I think Star Wars is because Ewan McGregor is basically Obi-Wan in that movie, where he like gave up on life and trying to close out the Force, and then he has to train this new Jedi against the Sith that are out there still trying to kill off the Jedi. Basically, Doctor Sleep is the Star Wars movie we should have got. What I'm trying to say here. No, seriously, if you guys haven't seen Doctor Sleep, check out Doctor Sleep, because it legit feels like a Star Wars movie that we never got, because like Ewan McGregor is sort of like he's clicking those things. He's clicking like old Luke. He's clicking old Obi-Wan. It's great. I think Nicholson is officially retired, which is fine. I think he's done what he wants to do and take it easy. Oh man, I'm so afraid when Jack Nicholson dies, I'm afraid that he's going to get canceled. Because you know damn well he did some shady shit when he was young. You know damn well he did. And I'm afraid for all those horror stories to come out. But yeah, Jack Nicholson's awesome. I love Jack Nicholson. He did great stuff. And I think I did see his horrendous last movie, which was that not Albert Brooks. Let's see. Let me look it up. Jack Nicholson. It was that terrible movie. And I seen it. Oh yeah, it's called How Do You Know by James L. Brooks, where everyone's on the fucking phone in that movie. Everyone's on the cell phone, everyone's on the phone. And it was so embarrassing. Like, I think Jack Nicholson knew, because in that movie, Jack Nicholson seemed so frail and old and almost out of it. And I'm so glad that he retired. He should have retired the movie prior to this. I'm not even sure what that was. Could have been The Bucket List. Yeah, it was The Bucket List. Bucket List, he's still solid in, but like in the movie How Do You Know, it's sort of like, oh no, he's getting too old for this. It's sort of when Mike Stacklasa has his Stacklasa disease and forgets stuff, and it's like, oh no, Mike's getting old. It's sort of that. I read for this that the set for the surgeon scene from Batman is the same set they used for the dentist scene in Little Shop of Horrors. And if you've ever seen the 1960 original, it also stars Jack Nicholson. Oh my god, I bet that's true. I bet that's true, because that totally makes sense, because that surgeon scene in the Batman does look like Little Shop of Horrors. Oh man. You could really do a really cool Once Upon a Time Hollywood type movie about making of the first Star Wars. But if they did, they would cater to fanboys and would suck. Yeah, oh man. I would love that movie, but I know you wouldn't be able to, because Disney would have to put the rose-colored glasses on to make that movie, because they would totally probably edit out Mrs. Lucas out of the movie, because Miss Lucas saved Star Wars. Wasn't sure about it first, but the second viewing, I immediately fell in love with it. It's a terrific sequel and works well on its own. Yes, Dr. Sleep is great. I love Dr. Sleep. Ooh, 100% agree. De-aging and CGI young actors is terrible, but if Jack came back, I'd want him to be the real age. But actors who played him worked really well. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Jocelyn Donahue as Lucy is so good. Should have been in more movies. Yep. Dr. Sleep is only one of the best films of the last decade. I agree. Dirty Grandpa should have been the final Nicholson film. I think you've been too old, because if I don't know if you probably have never seen How Do You Know, that James L. Brooks movie, but that movie, he really seems out of place, like he doesn't know what's going on, and I'm sort of glad he retired. Although in the scene he might have been acting like concerned, but I just remember him in the street like looking so like out of place, like he didn't understand like the scene. Like it wasn't like a genuine, like it wasn't like acting confused. It was like, it looked like a genuine confused, like I'm not 100% sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. And it made me sad. Let's see. I want to see that making a Star Wars film series so bad, but I agree. Don't sugarcoat making Star Wars. Actually show how it came together. Yeah. Because I think that's one of the things at one point I got to talk about Star Wars at one point. But I like the behind the scenes stuff of Star Wars more than the actual movies. I like hearing about George Lucas getting the merchandise rights. I like about him, making American Graffiti. I like the whole stories about them casting the crew. I like the whole story about them accidentally discovering Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was just a carpenter, and then he was just like on set reading lines, and they're like, you're good. And then I like them like changing the script where like you can write this, but you can't say this shit. And I like the horror story where they had to film Carrie Fisher and all those different angles for that scene where so much where she had that whole speech memorized, even at her old age, like she could go right into that. Uh, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I need your help and whatever, and goes to the whole speech. I love all that stuff. I love the behind the scenes stuff. I love that Mark Hamill would tease George Lucas. I love that Mark Hamill got like an eye infection. So like half the movie, they had to film it like this so you could only see half his face. I love the fascinating shit of like Empire Strikes Back where some of the stuff had to be filmed a different way because they couldn't make it work. Them trying to hire David Lynch for Return of the Jedi it's fantastic stuff. And I love those documentaries on the prequels. I love freaking what's his name? Rick McCollum. Rick McCollum, just like, this is a disaster, and how the set was destroyed, and how they have like Ewan McGregor on the phone, and how they're trying to audition these kids, and they don't know how to say the names of Coruscant, and then they find Jake Lloyd, and it's just like, oh my god, I love all that stuff. That's what I love about Star Wars. I don't give a shit about Mandalorian. I don't give a shit about world building, about the shows. I don't care about the Bad Batch. I don't care about the Clone Wars. I don't care about that. That's not what I like about Star Wars. I like the cheesiness. I guess I'm diving into it. I'm talking about Star Wars now. Fuck, saving it for later. I'm diving into it now. What I like about Star Wars is sort of like how it's kind of hokey. I like that it's cheesy. I like that, they say lines where like Luke is just like a child, where he's like, "You bet I could. I'm not such a bad pilot myself. We don't need this." And it's so good. I love that shit. I love the little repeated footage of that's so fun. I don't know. I love that homemade feel of the original trilogy, and I love the behind the scenes stories of. Oh my! I even love like the press junket. I'm sure you guys, because you guys are all fans, I'm sure you guys have seen that press junket footage of Harrison Ford being interviewed by that lady. And at the end of the interview, she was like, "You know what? I think you're going to go places, or I think this movie's going to do a lot of good." And it's so funny because it's like Harrison Ford, who was like broke off his ass, who only did like American Graffiti and Star Wars before he became like the biggest iconic Hollywood star of all time. And I love all that stuff. To me, that is more fascinating than Kashyyyk or fucking extended universe shit, or oh my god, or like how like you use kyber crystals. I don't care about that stuff. I care about all the hokiness. I care about all the happy coincidences that made those movies work. And how no matter how terrible, like I'm going to get teary-eyed talking about this. I love how no matter how bad it was making those prequel movies, because those sets were destroyed, that I don't know. I think it's the behind the scenes that make me appreciate those movies more, if I'm saying anything. How they watched the rough edit of Phantom Menace and just seeing how everyone reacted at how bad it was, and how they all had to just argue their point, and just seeing Ben Burtt so irritated about like, look, we have 4 different things going on. You have Jar Jar Binks, a comedic relief. You have the princess trying to escape. You have our heroes in fight, and then you have you have little Anakin fighting in space. You have 4 things going on, and it doesn't work. And like they're trying to figure out how to like maybe cut around this, and they really can't. And Rick McCollum is just sitting there like, oh fuck, this is a disaster. And somehow all those movies are still beloved. Everyone who's watching this probably loves those prequels in some sort of way, or grew up with those movies. Everyone sort of loves Attack of the Clones. And it's so fascinating. It is so fascinating, those movies. Oh my god. But like, I am not a normal Star Wars fan. because there's people out there who are like, oh my God, yes, Chewbacca on Kashyyyk. We have the voodoo hide, and you have to go to, Rogue One. And in Rogue One, you introduce all these characters and they introduce this planet where the Force was born from, and they have these books. It's like, none of that matters. Absolutely none of that matters to me. What I love about Star Wars is sort of like the nerdiness and creativity and the awkwardness of how those movies are, especially that original trilogy. And I feel like all that is misinterpreted in the new trilogy. And I'm here. I might as well talk about it. The new trilogy it doesn't understand what made the originals work. It thinks that if it has the lightsaber in it, if it has an X-wing in it, if it talks about the Force in a mystical way, that it understands Star Wars, but I don't think it does. And I don't like the modern storytelling that it does. And the original one, the Force Awakens, it's all about mystery box and about setting things up. It's not even a real story, in my opinion. You guys may disagree. It's okay. We're almost 10 years off from Force Awakens. But Force Awakens feels like it's all just like leaving breadcrumbs. It's not about telling a really great, fulfilling story, in my opinion. Because like you have characters who don't even meet each other. Like Poe doesn't meet Rey until the end of Last Jedi. So you have Poe there, and he doesn't quite fit into the story because originally Poe was supposed to die, but Poe's doing the whole thing, and he keeps interrupting the heart and soul of the story, which is Rey and Kylo. And then, it's just like setup. And I remember people saying, well, you have to wait and see. And I was like, no, you don't have to wait and see. This Force Awakens should be something that is fulfilling on its own. I shouldn't have to wait to the next one for this one to pay off. And Last Jedi, granted, been a while since I've seen it. I did like it in the theater, but I kind of feel like I sort of liked it in a sort of ironic way, where I was like, holy crap, you really just burnt all your bridges. You killed everything was set up of like, wait and see. Everything that was wait and see was cut off, burned. Nothing was left to go on for the third movie except the Rey and Kylo. And I wish Rey and Kylo ended up together, because that would be way more interesting for a third movie. And they didn't do that because everything's subverting your expectations, and I did like it at the time. Granted, I haven't watched in a while, so I don't really want to crap on Last Jedi too much. But I just felt like it burned all its bridges, which I found comical. Like, you burned all your bridges. But in story-wise, it's not really a good thing to do for your third movie, because your third movie has nowhere to go. And the third movie I watched, and it really had nowhere to go, because it had to introduce things and then close them up. And it was just that Rise of Skywalker is like really bad. And it feels like they dug up the corpse of Carrie Fisher. It's like, I would have been fine if they killed her off screen. It seems more disrespectful to use alternate takes to keep her alive for nothing. And then even like they backpedaled The Last Jedi. So at the end of this new trilogy, none of it matters. And then when you watch the behind the scenes, it all makes sense of why it doesn't work, even though it's sugar-coated. The behind the scenes are so sugar-coated, but if you read between the lines of these movies, of the behind the scenes, I haven't watched the behind the scenes of Rise of Skywalker. I should. But I did watch the behind the scenes of The Force Awakens and Last Jedi. And if I recall from The Force Awakens, everyone did not like that. That infamous, like, oh, wow, they're reading, it's the first table reading of Star Wars. From those interviews, nobody liked that script. That table read did not go well. Nobody liked that. And they all like sort of dance around it. They're like, oh yeah, it had a lot of work, or yeah, it was fun meeting everybody. but no one ever says like, "Oh my god, I love the script," or "Oh my god, everyone dances around that table read was awful." And then in The Last Jedi, you see that Rian Johnson has like this whole idea, like he's focusing all on the set dressing. He's focusing on all the wrong things. Because there's like, I think there's a big giant segment of that behind the scenes where they talk about that sauna room, the sauna room with the little naked one-eyed man and like all that stuff. And I think they're talking about like building the suits and the dance sequence, and like none of that shit is in the final movie. And you kind of understand that, oh, like they're trying to, he was focusing on the wrong thing. He was focusing on building the world, and not so much on focusing on the story of like, oh shit, I shouldn't be doing that. But then again, I have not watched these behind the scenes since the Blu-rays and DVDs have come out, but that's what I recall. And I'm not sure what you guys are thinking. I haven't watched. I'm afraid to read the comments as I'm talking about this because I don't know if I'm dropping truth bombs or if I'm losing people with my opinions. But like, yeah, that's the reason why I really don't like this new trilogy. They completely, it's a nothing trilogy. It all amounted to nothing. Uh, I understand why. What's his name? That actor, not Pedro Pascal. Who played Poe? I know everyone's gonna be yelling, and I know I would be yelling. Who played Poe in Star Wars? Star Wars. Hang on, Poe Dameron. Who plays him? Oh God, I know I'd be yelling. Oscar Isaac. In all those press junkets, Oscar Isaac don't give a fuck. I remember there's one where they're at Disneyland, and he like before the interview is even over, he gets up and like walks away, and then the guy John Boyega, they're interviewing him, and he's like, "You ain't going to Disney plus me," and you could tell that they're just so agitated about having to do this anymore. Oh man, but yeah, that's my opinion on it. I guess I didn't have to wait to do a stream, but I talked about it here. Oh man, but yeah, I like Star Wars for different reasons, and it's okay for everyone to like it for the world building and all that, and you know, I like the cheesy shit though. I like Steven Spielberg, visiting behind the scenes with George, and they're talking about Gungas. They chop through them like butter. I love that. I love that stuff. I love George Lucas being so like, oh, we're never going to beat Titanic. It's so wonderful. I love that. I love that. I don't love, Ray being like, I bypassed the compressor. I don't love the white robot from Solo. Oh man. But yeah, there's that. So let's go to the comments. I don't know if I should wrap it up. We're at 2 hours now, which is this is a good length. Let's see what the comments say. Yep. I wasn't sure about the second viewing, fell in love. Okay, we're talking about Dr. Sleep. 100%. Yep. De-aging. Okay. Dirty Grandpa. Yeah, it couldn't be Disney. It would have to be an outside presence. You could even do it as rated R if they could get away with it. Dude, I'm pretty sure Carrie Fisher was fucking wild behind the scenes. Like, I think, what's so funny is like when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, Princess Leia, she's so clean, she's so neat. But being an adult, I'm like, dude, I bet Carrie Fisher fucking did everything and everyone. that Princess Leia thing, I don't see. I don't like. I see her now. I'm like, you were doing coke. You had an affair with Harrison Ford. I'm sure you did something with Mark Hamill. Oh man, but yeah. So yeah, rated R behind the scenes of Star Wars. I would not be shocked. I wanted to see the making of Star Wars film series so bad. I must have skipped that comment because I did read this comment before. Let's see. That's where I started with Wizard of Oz. Love the original film, behind the scenes story so much more interesting than its own movie. Dude, I would love a behind, like, I bet Warner Brothers would do that, Behind the Rainbow or some shit, whatever. I think that's a different movie. But like you could do like behind the scenes of making Wizard of Oz, but I feel like it'd be more tragic. Because I think like they're giving pills to Dorothy, and then the guy almost dies from allergic paint being applied to him. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting for the behind the scenes of Wizard of Oz, but I think it would be more disturbing. I don't think it would be fun. I think the only way to do Star Wars making of and make it really good is you do the Fableman style. Oh, I think they would have to do this. You would have to do like a fake Star Wars movie, change the names, change the locations, and not really say Star Wars. Call it Argo 2. Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is George Lucas. He has to make his Argo film. I love the original version of the Star Wars trilogy. Yes. What do you call it? Slasher Fred. I own the despecialized versions of the original Star Wars trilogy, and I love them. I love seeing the original effects, and it's so funny because there's so many things that are ingrained in my mind, but those were introduced in the special editions, like close the blast doors, forever ingrained in my mind, but it's not in the original trilogy. It's not in the original trilogy. Yeah. Let's see. If you ever watched the teaser trailer to Return of the Jedi, I said Revenge of the Jedi. Yes, I do remember that. I think they did this because, if I recall correctly, I think they changed it from Revenge to Return because I think people were making bootleg shirts that said Revenge of the Jedi. So George Lucas wanted to make sure he got some royalties and his merchandise, so he changed it last minute to Return of the Jedi, so nobody could make money off these Revenge of the Jedi shirts. I would love to see a series set in maybe 1997 when Lucas started to work on the prequels and make. Oh my, dude, that is so fascinating. When I did my Kenner Power of the Force storyline, it was so fascinating to see that timeline of history, because in 1994 he is he's sitting down and writing the Star Wars scripts, and then the special editions come out in like 97 because he's testing out the technology through his old films while he's writing the scripts. And then like in 1999 or 98, he makes a deal with Kenner. I believe, yeah, Kenner, to do all the Star Wars toys for the prequels, which will be coming out within the next 10 years. And all that stuff is just like the behind the scenes is all more fascinating to me than Voodoo Hyde and Darth Vader and Palpatine and his outfit, all it's or whatever. Who's that dark leader? Who beat death? Oh God, what's his name? What was that powerful force? Oh my God, I know I would be screaming at myself. I'd be like, you idiot. Darth, no, not Darth. Not Darth Sidious. Darth Plagueis. Oh my God. Yeah, see? I don't know. To be fair, guys, I haven't really watched Star Wars in like 4 years. Because I think it was Rise of Skywalker where I was just like, no, I'm done. I tuned out. But I did watch Rise of Skywalker recently because I want to do a mashup. And it was awful. Let's see. Hang on. Would I leave? Yep. Okay. Wizard of Oz has some great behind-the-scenes stories, but it's hard to tell which are real and which are made up. Yes. Because there's some that are just like Hollywood legend at this point. It's always been a B movie, and it seems being forgotten over time. It can be tongue-in-cheek and serious, and it can't be corny. That's the thing. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, I love Andor. And it's just like, oh man. It's like, it's not why I love Star Wars. Because everyone's like, oh my God, Andor is good. And I'm like, no, I don't know about that. Because I think Andor looks too serious. Andor looks like it takes the subject matter of Star Wars too seriously. And The Mandalorian, it looks like it's going too like goofy in the lore of Star Wars. It almost looks like Guardians of the Galaxy now. That scene with like Lizzo and Jack Black and Christopher Lloyd. Granted, I did not watch it. I don't know the context. But from just seeing the clip online, it looked like something from Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm like, that's not Star Wars. I believe I said it in the previous stream, but I feel like Star Wars has gone so big and almost like so generic. So whenever someone wears a shirt that says Star Wars, it's like, which part? What do you like about Star Wars? It's like wearing a shirt that says music or movies. I like movies. It's like, yeah, but what movie do you like? So I kind of feel whenever someone wears a Star Wars shirt, it's like, what part? What do you like? Do you like the prequels? Do you like the Clone Wars? Do you like Robot Chicken? What do you like? What are some favorite making of stories of Wizard of Oz? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's see. True. I think that sort of film would be nice to watch. Let's see. One of the live action films of the 1980s cartoon series that I'm sure would love to see would be live action GoBots movie. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Rise of Skywalker was tinkered to hell. I'm a sucker for the new films, but I'm definitely can say looking into it. The last film was a huge overhaul and trampled the helm. I don't blame them because there was nothing to build from. There was nothing to go from Rise of was it The Last Jedi? You had nowhere to go. Everything that was established in The Force Awakens was burned. That bridge was burned. There was nowhere to go. You had like three remaining what do you call it? Rebels, or was it not? Was it New Order versus the Resistance? That's what they were called. Like there's like 3 Resistance members left. Like where do you go? What do you do? I don't know. But like Rise of Skywalker, I could understand why everyone was like, "Oh my god, how do we make this work?" Because that's a mess. That's going to be great. That's going to be great. Love that exchange with Steven and George. Because Steve, like, okay, I just heard this in an interview because I always remember this interview. But like Steven Spielberg was like the only one who believed in George with Star Wars, and seeing them talk behind the scenes on Phantom Menace is just fantastic. Oh man, still haven't seen Rise of Skywalker. I watched Bombshell instead. Oh, Bombshell! I remember. I have not seen it, but I remember. I got the reason why I'm laughing is because I could just see like Nicole Kidman with all that makeup, and then you have Charlize Theron with all that makeup, and then you have Margot Robbie thrown in there, and John Lithgow for some reason he's in that movie, and it's like doo 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 doo. That's all I remember from Bombshell. But yeah. So we talked about Star Wars, and we are at 2 hours total. 2 hours total for the show. So is there any questions, I guess? Because this is an Ask Me Anything, but I've just been riffing. I've been riffing from your comments. So is there anything to ask before I go? Any opinions? Let's see. Lithgow was the best part, of course. Behold the magic. That is me. Man, Lithgow is a great actor, and I hope he knows people appreciate him because he did some real good dramatic shit in like the 70s and 80s. One of the big examples is the movie Blowout, where he plays like the biggest freaking creep. I love him in the movie Cliffhanger. The thing I love about Cliffhanger is that I think it was originally Christopher Walken, and like he bailed last minute for Cliffhanger. So they're like, John Lithgow, we need a last minute replacement. And he went in and he fucking hit a home run with Cliffhanger. Holy shit. Insulin, would you have thought of that? Oh my God, it's so great. And it's almost like they're like the exact opposites. Sylvester Stallone and John Lithgow and Cliffhanger. And that's what makes that movie really, really work and really shine. Oh man. Because like John Lithgow is like this international secret agent type guy, and he's up against this fucking dummy who all he does is like climb walls and shit. He's not like a Superman. He is not a super agent. He is just a stupid survivalist who's upset about his girlfriend who won't leave with him. And he has to deal with the situation. Oh my god. I should do a video about Cliffhanger. I'm sorry, Shane. I might have to skip trains and just go to talk about Cliffhanger because that whole that whole movie is so fantastic. I love Cliffhanger. Oh my god. I love Cliffhanger. I'm gonna cry about that right now. It's so good. What do you know about Bad Times, man? Oh, man. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Any specific films you're looking forward to seeing? Barbie. I'm looking forward to see, I guess, Oppenheimer, The Pope's Exorcist, Evil Dead Rise, Air. Not sure what comes out after that. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm excited about that. I'm not sure what else is coming out this year. I'm honestly not sure. Hang on, let me put some light on me. I see my color out of focused. Let's see. He's a great villain in Buckaroo Banzai. I gotta see this movie because this is like the fifth time this has been brought up. This is like the Indiana Jones of this podcast, where everyone keeps bringing it up. Indiana Jones and Buckaroo Banzai. Yes. John Lithgow does not miss. One of my favorite all-time scenes with John Lithgow is in the movie Blowout, and it's when he's on the phone faking that 911 call. Like, I had to do it. I killed her. And it's so creepy because, go see Blowout. It's fantastic. The opening of Cliffhanger is such a great, very great opening. Speaking of which, Cliffhanger is the first movie I remember seeing as a kid. Because apparently, my mom told me that she always took me to the movies, even when I was a newborn. I was a well-behaved kid. I never cried in the movies, but she always took me to the movies. But the first memory of movies is this opening scene. I don't know if I was sitting in the little walker or in a seat, but I remember them climbing on the mountains and the "don't let go." That is ingrained in my memory. And I actually went through because a few years ago, I think Phil Dragish asked me like how many movies I had seen, and I had made a list of every movie I seen in the theater, specifically in the theater, and in the timeline. I always thought Jurassic Park was the first one because another iconic, visual and memory of going to the movies is after the T-Rex pushes the truck over the cliff and you see the taillights and it hits the tree, and it goes to the T-Rex going, and then it goes to, hey, that whole part is ingrained in my memory of seeing that in the theater. But Jurassic Park was released after Cliffhanger, so Cliffhanger is my first movie memory. Yes. Let's see. He's great in Raising Cain. Haven't seen it, but I do know that he's good in it. He's very good. Very, very good. There's a 90s John Lithgow. Ricochet. Ricochet takes place in the freaking Die Hard universe. Okay, so there's a huge cinematic universe. Technically, they're Easter eggs or just references to past movies, but let's deep dive into this if I could recall correctly before I have to look it up. Okay, so due to the timeline, I believe the first movie would be maybe Predator. So Predator is it's fucking Blade Runner. Okay, so in this whole universe, all these movies are connected in some sort of way, either an Easter egg or a reference. So Blade Runner has a reference to the movie Alien, because in the movie Blade Runner, Deckard is like landing the ship and it has like a little blinking message on the screen, and it's the same message that was in Alien. And Alien has Weyland, and it had that same flash memory, so those movies are connected. Boom. So, of course, Alien is connected to Predator. Predator is connected to Die Hard 2 specifically, because Esperanza is from that company Valverde, the country Valverde, and I believe Valverde is mentioned in Predator 2. So we have Alien, Blade Runner, Die Hard 2, Predator 2, all in the same universe. Ricochet has the same news anchor, legitimate, same news anchor from Die Hard. So we have Ricochet in this universe. Die Hard is also connected to the movie Speed. So you have Speed 2. So those are all in one universe. Ricochet, Speed, Die Hard, Predator 2, Alien, Blade Runner. And then Blade Runner has like a little reference in the movie Soldier, Universal Soldier. So those are all connected. We're at 9 movies within the same universe due to references such as Valverde or the blinking message on screen or Weyland Enterprises or what do you call it? Other things such as the news reporter from Die Hard. And the reason why Speed and Die Hard are connected is because of the courier service. Pacific Courier is referenced in Die Hard and also referenced in Die Hard with a Vengeance. So all those movies are connected. And then I'm trying to think if there's another like reference, if I recall. I know there's tons of them. I'm going to look it up now. Valverde Universe. I want to see if there's any more connected. Because I think there's more. Valverde Universe. Who else is in there? Really, Firefly. I guess Firefly's in there. I guess Prometheus is connected as well. Universal Soldier for sure. Ricochet. Oh my God, Commando. Commando is connected to this universe. That's right. Because it takes place in Valverde. Excuse me. I'm trying to think what else is here. Let's see. Well, that's so cool, though. All those movies are sort of like all connected through various Easter eggs and references. Let's see. I read a set of Blade Runner. The same set was used for the Escape from New York. Oh, really? Okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So I guess that's it for now. I think that's a good place to wrap up. If there's no more questions, which I don't think there'll be. So thank you guys for watching. Just to talk about or set up next upcoming shows, let me pull up the calendar. So if I'm not a lazy bum and hopefully record it tonight, I'm going to do a video for the Ireland collection tomorrow. Hopefully about a train. Spoiler alert, Shane. But I think I'm going to talk about Silver Streak. I'm going to talk about Silver Streak, I think. Or I might even throw a pipe bomb into it and talk about something else. So there's two train movies I want to talk about, Shane. It's Silver Streak and a mystery one. So I don't know which one I want to talk about. But I will. I hopefully do it real quick and talk about it. And then next week will be a pre-recorded video that will be broadcasting at 6 p.m. It'll be a pilot episode with me and Stuart. I recorded it a different way, so we were all on different tracks, so I could actually edit it and make it shorter and cut to our close-ups rather than staying on the two shot. So that should be fun. That's on the 16th, the 23rd. No. Wait. There's a show before then. So I have to order Netflix, and I got to watch Power Rangers because I got to do an episode for my nephews. So on the 20th, I believe, or 21st, I'll be doing a Power Rangers live stream, giving my opinion on the little bit of Power Rangers I watched that Anthony recommended, and then watching the Power Rangers movie, and then watching the Power Rangers from Netflix. So that'll be on the 20th or 21st, not 100% sure yet. And then on the 23rd will be the show with Sarah Miller, where we talk about the movie Soul and the movie Tremors. Looking forward to that. And then on the 24th, I'm recording an episode that will broadcast on the 30th. So that should be fun. And also, I'm going to be recording an episode on the 29th that will be broadcasting on May 7th. Yeah, that's right. I'm already planning shows for May. Good Lord. Yeah, but the May 29th one, I have to pre-record that just because our time zones, like she lives in Paris, so that is like 10 a.m. U.S. time, and none of you guys are going to be here to interact. So I was like, all right, I got to pre-record that. And I don't want to do it live and then just have it like flop. So I'm going to have it broadcast on this May 7th as a pre-recorded show. But yeah, it should be good. It should be good. Yeah. Let's see. Any other comments? Hell yeah. Do both. No, because here's the thing, Shane. I have to edit it tonight. I have to record and edit it tonight. So it can't do both. Because if I do both, and if it's a both, then it's 20 minutes. And that means I have to make a 20-minute video. And I can't do that. I have to record for 20 minutes and then edit that down to 10 minutes and hopefully have it done by tomorrow. And I can't do both. I cannot do both. Double episode. Ooh, very nice. Looking forward to see the new pilot episode. Yes, me and Stuart, we talk about John Wick. Let's see. What are some train movies you like that didn't make the cut? We'll see. We'll see what didn't make the cut. Maybe Silver Streak doesn't make the cut. You don't know. Okay. I don't know. Do I want to spoil it? Do I want to spoil what train movies didn't make the cut? Me and my mom started joking. We were like, yeah, have Young Frankenstein as a train movie. Or like, there's a train in the background of that movie. Why don't you talk about that? Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't think I want to spoil it. Because what if I do talk about it? What if I do? And then will you ever release the second 101 movies list? Can you give me more information? What do you need by this? A second 101 movie list. Do you want me to challenge Stuart to another 101 movie list? because that would be difficult. And not only that, but I owe Stewart 101 movies. So that's on my back. That's my debt to Stewart. I have to do 101 movies that he recommended to me. I don't know if I'll do videos on each one, but I have to watch those movies. At some point, I have to put them on a little thumb drive because this isn't it, but he gave me a hard drive basically of 101 movies because he's like, I don't want you to hunt them down. I want you to have all of them. So I was like, oh shit. So I really have to watch them. I think I've watched at least 5. I've watched 5 of his 101 movies, but just clear it up. What did you mean by 101 movies? Did you want me to make another 101 movies? You teased the second list when Stewart was almost done. Oh, I did I? I think I did, but I think I only got to 30. I think I only got to 30. But I owe Stewart a debt. I owe and I know I need to watch his 101 movies he recommended to me. Because they're all the artsy fartsy movies. I gotta watch them. I've got to watch them. You wouldn't need to challenge Stewart, but I'm always looking forward to 100 movies to check out. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. That's sort of why I'm doing the 101 movie list, just to talk about movies that you may or may not have seen. Yeah. So I think that's good. I think everything's been answered. We talked about Mario Brothers movie. We talked about Barbie. We talked about upcoming episodes. So this is good. This is good stuff. So wanted to thank you guys for watching. I'm not sure if the Chief Brody Rules fans even stayed, but if they did, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Shane Ford, thank you for watching. Thank you, Filler Vision, aka Cade Fisher. Who else showed up? Hang on, I want to say his username. Slasher Fred, thank you for watching. I'm not sure if you're from Chief Brody Rules or if you're a new subscriber to I Want My TV Now, but thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Whitney, sorry for poo-pooing Wes Anderson. But like seriously, I think it's that thing where I can't get over the too fantastical, where it's like I gotta have a toe in reality somewhere. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. To my nephews out there, go watch the Mario Brother movie. You'll like it. And see you with my Power Rangers one. And Shane, you're watching my OG 101 list. That's awesome. That's cool. That's awesome. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to wrap it up. So see you. Oh, I won't see you next week. You'll see a pre-recorded video of Pilot. I hope you enjoy it. So see you with Sarah Miller, I guess. So thank you guys, and go see Mario Brothers movie. It's good.